I'm Jess Hartley, and for the last 15 years or so, I've been a professional novelist, role-playing game writer, editor, and game developer. Most of my published work has been for White Wolf and the World of Darkness, but I've also had the pleasure of working on a variety of games, including Supernatural, the licensed product by Margaret Weis Productions, and the Paranet Papers, which is one of the supplements for the Dresden Files by Evil Hat Productions. I am a avid LARPer and really love games of all sorts. I'm going to be guest GMing a session for Changeling Lost, which is part of the New World of Darkness. I had the pleasure of being one of the core writers on that game, and also being a writer on most of the supplements for it. It's one of my favorite role-playing games, and I'm really excited to be bringing it to those who haven't had a chance to experience it yet, and a couple of the fans who already know about it. So I'm so excited to be a part of this project, having an opportunity to take something that has been a professional and recreational interest of mine for decades and have an opportunity to help people bring it into a therapeutic environment is just so exciting. And I'm really looking forward to meeting all of you and being a part of this project.
Hi there, I'm Dr. Megan Connell. I'm a therapeutic dungeon master, and I'm going to be one of your instructors during these weeks that you will be taking for your therapeutic game master training. I'm so excited for this course, and I am so proud of it. When I started therapeutic DMing several years ago, there wasn't anything like this out there. I've had to figure out and learn a lot along the way. This is the course I wish I had when I was up and coming. So I hope that you all enjoy this course, and I'm really excited to be sharing all of these materials with you.
Probably the
Uh,
best way to learn anyways.
well, it is, but I also love the sound of
Hands-on.
my voice, so I would love to just ramble for another 10 minutes. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Or am I?
So if you were to say like role athletics and marksman, so that would be under our skills on our character sheet. So
Correct.
for Kaede, that would be so like 0 and 1. So I would roll 1d10.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. And even if you don't have something in the skill, it still applies. And like acrobatics and marksman would be something like, if you were like to say like, I want to like tumble forward and like throw a thing and so it hits the thing behind him and all that stuff. Acrobatics and marksman, that makes sense for me. But then you'll be like, oh, but I have 0 of that. So let me see. Maybe I'll try something else out in this case. So maybe that's not the right strategy for you. If you do attempt something that you have no dice in, so 0 and 0, you still get to roll 1 die, but it's only successful on a 10.
And do we like tally everything up and give you the total, or do we say like I got 2 10s and a 7 or something like that?
So 7, 8, and 9s are 1 success, 10s count as 2. So you would just tell me how many successes you got.
Got it. Okay.
All right, cool. So we're going to be running probably an abridged version of my adventure called The Nobleman's Daughter. I learned in the last session that 2 hours can be it can be a time crunch. So like this adventure normally takes about 3, sometimes 4 hours. So the abridged version, you guys are a group of ninja who have been traveling together for a while. So no initial mistrust or anything. There's no need to start already backstabbing each other. But you guys, receive a hawk. That's actually how a lot of the ninja end up relaying, private messages and whatnot. Is that they'll send a hawk to some of the groups that are out there, like in the wild. So you will have received a hawk. I guess who's the leader of this group? And I'll say that they probably get the hawk. I'm surprised that Mike is not saying Kaneo is obviously the leader of this group.
I suppose it depends
Sure.
on maybe the mission. Yeah. So, or
Well, there's two people in this group that probably would fight to be the leader of this group. It would be Kaneo and Ryota.
I suppose my question would be, well, I mean, if Mr. Shadow wishes to wear the mantle, I will have no particular problem. Let them see him first before me.
Okay. Well, then the hawk knows to go straight to Kaneo then. And you receive this note, and it's like a little thing on the bird's leg, but when you open it, it turns into like an actual parchment because of ninja magic and whatnot. And it says, we have been contacted by Netaki Sai, who is a nobleman currently residing in Higensho. His daughter, Netaki Maya, has gone missing, and you are now tasked with finding her. This particular nobleman holds sway within the Izu courts and is one of the few who actually fights to have the emperor end the Ninja Crusade. If he is successful, then this ridiculous war can come to an end and we can return to our normal lives. He has called for us to assist, and we will heed that call or risk losing his support entirely. This mission is of the utmost importance, so you'd best be on your way to Higensho. That's the end of the letter that you guys got. So just to give you guys a little bit of background of Higensho, Higensho is the city of plains. It is one city. It currently houses some of the largest farming communities outside of the Cradle of Life province, and was the first to try out like advanced agriculture techniques for the empire. So like it has a lot of stuff going on in the city. The city is it is a city in unrest, in heavy guard, and powerful forts occupy the city now, and have for decades, to ensure that workers continue producing the food needed to feed the thriving noble tradition. So that's fun. As the characters approach, you'll see that there are tall stone walls that surround the city, with several manned guard towers and guards at the southern gate. So finding a way in to the city so you can go speak to the noblemen is your first challenge. So of course, being ninja, you have no official travel papers, so you can't just walk in. And most of you, you guys look like ninja. So essentially at this point, it's a matter of how will you attempt to get into the city that is under heavy guard by the Empire. So go ahead.
So, considering I have a network of information gatherers, I guess my question is I would like to know when it comes to my contacts.
Mhm.
So, how do I use those to gather the information we need when it comes to who we need to sway and
Okay.
what might be the best way of swaying these individuals?
So in this case, you, of course, being Ryota, have two, I would say you have two options of how you wanted to get into here. And actually both of them could use your contacts. So you could either call on Yukio, and Yukio is a wagoneer. So essentially you can call her up and then she can come and you can jump in the back of her wagon and she can just bring you into the city.
Okay.
So that's an easy one. You could also get your network of spies if you wanted to activate them, and they would be able to get you the proper paperwork to essentially just walk in.
Okay.
Because Ryota is set up to just walk past this challenge. That's what he does. So he is not a combat person. He is the social person. So if it's how do you get into the town, I just walk in. That's
I think it would be best, since having papers, please, would be able to make it so that if we have other people wanting to know why we're here, we have the necessary papers to back up that. And However, I would like, is there a way to contact Yukio and give them a message, but not activate?
I mean, I'll say yes. The time is of the essence to go and, see the noblemen. So I would say that if you're going to contact them, it would be to activate them.
Okay.
If you do it the other way, then it might make you
Then
guys later.
then I will hold off and specifically get the papers.
Okay. Let me
And
find that roll real quick here. Because there is a roll for that. You have to send them off to do the thing, and you have to roll for that. So let's see. The information gatherers, which are fun. I do like them. All right. So if you can make a persuasion and knowledge roll for me.
okay. So, and we use D10s instead.
D10s, yes. You rolled that many D10s.
Alright.
So in the case of Ryota, your persuasion is 3. And what was the other thing I said? It was persuasion and knowledge, and your knowledge is 2. So you would roll 5 dice.
So 5D.
5d10, correct.
Eloy, I have a question real quick.
Sure.
Since we're all traveling together, are there able to be times that one of us could help on a roll?
Yes. So the way that would work is teamwork works in this way. So it is basically, every roll is 2 skills. So what you do in teamwork is you say, oh, you're bad in that skill, use my dice instead for that roll. So that's how you do teamwork in this one. So if I have 2 and 1, but in my one that I have 1 in, you have 3, well, then I roll 5 instead of 3. And then you say that you're helping out.
All right. I got a 38.
Say that again?
I got a 38.
Okay, so each of the dice, so if it's a 7, 8, or 9, that would be 1 success, and a 10 counts as 2.
I got 2 9s, 1
Okay.
7, and 1 8.
Well, then that's 4 successes then. That is awesome, actually. That means that you would be able to get paperwork for yourself and 2 others.
Right. All right.
So that would be, I guess, the other 3 would have to come up with their own thing.
Okay. So among our party, who here feels that they don't have the particular skills to be able to get into the town?
I have a thing here that says that I can craft things on the fly. So is that something I can do in this situation, is craft something for myself so that like these things can go to others in the group? Or is that like a different type of
Where are
like
we
a
talking?
forgery? So it says tragedy, victim of circumstance, affliction, displaced, gift, having lost her home, she knows how to make something from nothing.
Okay. Well,
That's
essentially, it's if you wanted to create something like makeshift, like a jury rig or something like that. Like if you were like, what can I do with these materials right here? You'd get an additional die for that. Yeah.
Got it.
There actually is one of them that gives you bonuses to forging things. So that's not specifically this.
Okay.
So just if we're shy or reluctant to come up with ideas, sneaking in is just an easy one. Like if you guys are ninja, so you could just say, I'm gonna sneak in, and then we'll make a roll to see if you get in. Kaneo and
That was gonna be my thing.
yeah, well, Kaneo is like the obvious one for that. Ine is actually pretty good at sneaking as well. So the 2 of them, if you were just like, I don't need your paperwork, man. I'm not part of your system. I'm gonna go ahead and just
Throw it on the ground.
So then there's also I actually have here hitching a ride. So you could call in a wagon and do that. Let's let's see here. There's also, you could just fight the guards. There's another, the guards are there if you wanted to just be like, we take out the guards. They're not like super easy, but you're ninja, so it should be actually kind of easy, especially depending upon how many of you decided to join the fight. If it was all 6 of you, over in less than a round. But if it's only 2 of you, it might be a little tougher. But then there's, okay. So if Minori was here, you could try the traveling troupe thing because he's a performer. So you can't do that one because Minori's not here. Yeah. And then I have here walk in, which is Ryota's thing, obviously.
So yeah,
Oh,
I have.
Kaede can do that too. Actually, I forgot.
Oh. Okay, so I have 4 papers.
What's that?
I have 4 papers I can help 4 of my members here. So there's 1 person.
No, it's yourself and 2 others.
Oh, 2 others. Okay, so 3.
Yeah, so you have 3.
Right.
So,
because I actually forgot, I have it here written here, is that Kaede doesn't need to necessarily get paperwork or anything, but because you're a member of the Living Chronicle, the Living Chronicle is, you're just like, they're kind of ubiquitous, they're kind of everywhere because they're around recording history. That's what they do. So literally, if you just wanted to just walk past the guards, as long, I would still make you make a roll so you didn't like act suspicious or anything. But you could just walk in and they would just be like, oh, I guess something momentous might be happening here today. The guards might be thinking.
So do I have something that proves I'm a part of this, or is it like the way I'm dressed, or is it the tattoos?
It's the way you're dressed and all of your tattoos all over
I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk up, chin up.
Yeah, there's no mistaking a member of the Living Chronicle. All right, well then if you can, let me see, what kind of role would that be? Oh god.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at the group. I'm gonna say, I've got this. I'm gonna go. You follow.
Yeah, Kate is like, I'll see you guys inside.
so are we splitting our party, or are we just all trying to get in however which way we can?
Just trying to get in. We're splitting the party. Although I don't mind splitting the party. I am not the kind of person who doesn't like that. I actually love cornering people and getting them alone.
I feel like Suki would just kind of press Ryoto that, hey, you're probably gonna want some muscle with you, so
My character would nod. I'm also probably, so I'm looking between Kino and Ina.
For Kaede, can you make let's make it a knowledge and speed roll. This is just going to be
knowledge and speed.
we're
Okay.
going.
Ooh.
You're moving fast, and you're hoping that you being just the smart person will just make them ignore you.
Okay, so that was a lot of dice. Okay, so
Yeah,
7, 8, 9 are successes. So I got 1, 2, 3 successes.
3 is exactly what I was looking for. So you got it. All right. So Kaede goes in.
Walk right past.
Yeah, just goes right in. So Sasha, you said that you're thinking.
All right, I'm grabbing Tsuki, but I'm looking between Kino and Ine.
So I think Ine would be able to either sneak past the guards or even climb over the wall.
Cool.
So,
all right, grabbing
yeah.
the healer then. All right, muscle and healer. I'm grabbing those 2.
Healer sounds good to me.
Healer that can't heal.
Yeah. All right. So Ine, how are you going to get in?
I'm going to try climbing over the wall.
Okay, that sounds good to me. Let's do that. So climbing is an athletics and might roll usually.
Okay.
Sometimes athletics and speed. Actually, let's make it athletics and speed. I think that makes it the same for you anyway.
Yeah, so that's 5. Okay.
Yeah. It's 6 because you have a specialty in climbing.
Oh, got it.
Makes
Okay.
it there. Yeah, so it's actually 6 dice for you to just climb the wall. Well, but first, make a knowledge and stealth roll for me. This is so that you can find a spot where you feel confident that you could climb the wall without getting caught.
Okay. So that's 4. I got 1 success.
How many? I'm sorry.
1.
One's enough.
Yes.
I think it's
Okay.
fine. All right, so now go ahead and make your climbing roll, and then I think you probably only need like 2 successes to get over this wall. I mean, it's
I got
high,
3.
but oh, cool. I mean, you're a ninja.
There you go.
Very cool. Well, then Ine's just like, whoop, and I'm over. Done. All right. So Kunio,
Yes.
do you want to make your roll? How are you going to get in?
He's just gonna try to sneak right past the guards.
Okay. Do you have a way that you're going to do this, or are you just going to just move silently, or are you going to try any jutsu or?
It depends on what time of day or night it is, I guess.
Let's say that it is dusk.
Dusk. Okay. So, at that time, I'm guessing shadows are starting to form. And if that's the case, I'm going to try to use what's it called? Darkness Comes to Life to get a stealth buff.
Darkness comes to life. Oh, okay. So you don't have to use that. You just get that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Essentially, that's part of your training in your clan. It's like, if there's shadows, hey, I have +1 stealth. That's just, I get that. If you were going to use something, that would be down in either your Way of Ebony Clutches or Way of the Unseen. Those are active uses.
Oh, I see.
I just suddenly understood like a major part of this game system. It was just like, oh, click, got it.
Oh, okay. I guess I'll use Unnoticed as well then.
All right. So how you use Unnoticed is you'll make that roll there that it says, which would be yin and stealth. Your yin is down under stats of note, and it is a 3. So you'll roll 3 plus whatever your stealth is.
Stealth would be 3 plus.
It's 3. So
the 1 for the shadow?
That's 6.
Oh, okay.
And if you're dealing with shadows, then you have a +1. So you're rolling 7 dice. If it sounds like we're rolling a lot of dice right now, guys, it's because you guys are doing the things your characters are designed for. You roll considerably fewer dice if I throw you into situations you are not designed for. So.
And you said a 7, 8, or a 7, 8, 9, or 10. Was that right?
9 are 1 success, 10s are 2.
Okay, I got 1 10 and a 9, and then everything else is 6 or below.
Oh, you got 3. It's fine. And what that does is now for the rest of the scene, which is just you getting in, you get +2 to your stealth. So now you're gonna actually make your stealth roll to get in. This is all set up for the big roll here. So now you're gonna be rolling stealth plus speed +3. So
8.
So 8 dice. Yes. This is gonna go.
So I got a 9,
Shadow.
a 9, an 8, and a 7.
9, 8, 7. So 3.
2 9s, an 8, and a 7. So
so 4. Okay, very cool. Well, yeah, with 4 you definitely get through. So like literally, yeah, he surrounds himself in shadow and just almost as confidently as Kaede just walked in. He also just goes ninjas in with his arms going like this because that's the best way to run. All right, cool. So then, all right, so back to Ryota, who is going to bring Kino and Kuriyama in with him.
Mhm.
So, all right. And you already made your roll to see if you have the papers.
Mhm.
And so, I mean, literally, it kind of just goes pretty easily. You go up to the gate and, they say, your papers, and you hand them to them. They look through them and they hand them back to you and they say, have a good day. So everybody's in. Look at that. I ran this and we spent like the whole session and they were having a ball just trying to figure out all the ways to get in. They spent like 30 minutes just planning it out and it was going to be the perfect thing. So I'm glad that we kind of got through it a little bit quicker than that, at least. So a little bit quicker, at least. So let's see. So yeah, so again, other options were to take out the guards, hitch a ride, stuff like that. So
I nod as the group as they come in, like, it took you long enough.
exactly. Also for Koriyama, I actually I had somebody who just said, "Oh, I turned into a dog," and me and my dog just run in, and then I go, "Oh yeah," the guards are like, "Hey, those darn dogs," but like it's a dog, so like they're not thinking it's a threat. It's just a dog. Like who cares?
I feel like there's time to get to using the dog, but I thought that with his temperament, it made sense to want to be responsible and kind of help and ally with Ryota.
No. That's definitely, you made the good call. I was just saying.
No, yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
I'm good with people being creative here. But as soon as you get into the walls, your next stop is to go see Neitaki Sai, and within the residential sector are a handful of estates built to house the few noble families that live here in Higensho. Those with political or high class knowledge, in this case, Ryota, the other person who might know this information is not here. You basically would instantly know why so few nobles live in this city. The reason is simple. This is a town where political careers basically go to die. So Neitaki Sai was sent to Higensho by the emperor himself to tend to the workers, as basically a way to get him out of the court so he doesn't attend the courts as often, because he is fighting against the crusade that is currently happening. Let's see. So he is attempting, though, to build political clout, and he's hoping to get back in the court's good graces. But of course, with this recent setback, could be a horrible distraction going forward, obviously, with his daughter missing. So when you get to his estate, it is located near the far northeastern wall and appears bare compared to estates found in other cities. Knocking on the door, because you can just walk right up to it, and I assume somebody knocks. I should probably not just read exactly what I wrote here, but I assume you can guys. Do you guys just want to knock, or do you guys want to scout it out? You guys can do that too. So.
I guess my one question is, so not sure how triggers work.
Triggers are active uses. So essentially, let me see if is there anything that might apply here for you. So essentially, a trigger, and I guess I didn't actually explain it. So a trigger is where you invite bad things into a scene in order to gain more karma dice for the group. So in your case, you might have something like your trigger under Kuge, which is gain 1 karma if political skeletons rear their heads. So if you wanted to do that, like if you were like, I'm okay with this scene not going smoothly, let's invite some chaos into this. Mm-hmm. So it could be that like you go to meet this this politician and he looks at you and just immediately knows something terrible that you did and now distrusts the group, and now that's a hurdle that you guys have to get over. Like you get the extra karma, which will help the group down the line, but you are inviting bad things into the group essentially. And you'll see some of yours are they go in a lot of different flavors based on the choices that were made for the individual characters. Mm-hmm. And your clans too. Your clans have crazy ones as well. So does that make sense to everybody?
Yes,
okay.
It's kind of like we did something like this last week where if we made the story more difficult on us, but like made it a more interesting story, we got inspiration.
There you go.
So essentially same concept.
Same sort of concept then, yeah. And like I said, everybody's got 5 different ones to choose from. So there's lots of them because you get one for your element, profession, tragedy, wartime role, and your clan. So there's lots of bad things with each character.
So is that something that like we role play and then you notice and so the karma happens, or would I say like, well, my demeanor came off as cold, so is that a karma for me? Like do we ask for it, or do we?
Definitely the second one.
Okay.
The second one. These are
okay.
The way that the game is designed. It's designed for active use of triggers, not passive. So it's not just I think I came off kind of cold there. It's like, no, you don't get the karma die. But essentially what you would say is like, oh, this person is scared and in need of food and stuff. Oh, I'm gonna go help them. And you'd be like, oh, but I came off as cold. And then it would be like, oh crap. So how is that engagement now gonna go? Because they're not gonna get any of the kindness that you're trying to give them. and they might freak out. And it's like there's a lot of different options of what might happen there. And you can activate it, or if there's something that I'm like, ooh, this would be fun, I can also activate your triggers if I want to. So it's a fun thing. Like if it makes sense for the story, but you guys can also just do it at any time. Sometimes, but you guys also right now have 6 dice in your karma, so it's not necessarily all that important. You can have up to 10. So if you got, if you wanted a few more right now, then you could. Since we haven't really done that much, so you guys aren't dipping into it constantly. Some are like every roll somebody's wanting more dice, but that's kind of how the game works, because it refreshes at the beginning of the next session. So, in a normal game, the karma dice are there for you to use. They're gonna go away, and then you're gonna get some more back. So it's fine.
Okay.
All right, cool. So Ryota, I'm sorry, you said you were gonna ask a question though.
So before we go into this, my question is, so this is the place where political careers go to die.
Correct.
So my question is, how does one normally maneuver themselves back into the court once they've been more or less sent away?
He has been working on it for about 2 years already. And he's been making strides. A lot of it is making deals on the back end, as a politician, making deals with certain groups, with certain politicians to gain power in certain regions and stuff like that. So it's been something that's been an ongoing thing. Ryota himself he stays very kind of quiet when it comes to the courts, because basically anybody, it's kind of like the Red Scare sort of thing. Because if you're just like, no, we shouldn't be hunting ninja, people are like, why? Are you a ninja then? Is that why you don't want us to hunt the ninja? And then it becomes it. So Ryota's smart about it. He's like, I'm not going to do it. But this guy actually isn't a ninja, but is still pushing for that sort of thing.
Right. And second thing with his daughter, very sad. She's missing. What is she as a piece to this game?
What is she as a what?
A piece to this game. Is she basically something that he's looking to have her marry into a different clan, or what boon does she have to him?
Okay. So in terms of for Sai specifically, he's already kind of in a dishonored state right now. So to know that he is unable to protect his own family, and it's so weird the way that face works and honor and all of that stuff. But essentially, if you don't take care of your house, then that casts dishonor upon your house and whatnot. So that's why he's not asking the authorities, he's asking the ninja to try and find his daughter, so that it doesn't actually even have to become common knowledge that she's missing.
Okay. And
So,
how old is she?
that is information you do not have because you have not spoken with him yet.
Okay.
So yeah. Does anybody else have any other questions before we approach the house, or do you have a strategy on how you want to approach the house or anything?
With Kirihami's wartime role, I feel like he would want to scout out the house first, exterior.
Okay. All right.
Does that involve rolling?
Depends. Are you looking for any specific information, or are you just getting the lay of the land?
Just a lay of land.
Okay, no roll for that. Like, you just get the lay of the land. Like, you'll notice that like a lot of estates would have like workers there and stuff like that, but like there's not really anybody here. Like, anybody who's here is inside. Anybody else?
So I have something called Master Spy 1. It says gain information gathers. So how does that even work? Do I just like
How does that even work? Well, you actually used it already. That was how you got your papers.
From the martial training. Okay.
Right. So that's actually what you ended up doing. Yeah, the martial training gives you your gatherers as an ally. So we were using your allies. So that you basically use that, and the way that allies work essentially is that you have now asked them for a favor, and they did that for you. If you use them again without doing something in return, then they will become a rival at that point.
Okay.
So if you want to keep them as an ally, you need to do something for them first before asking them again for something.
Okay.
which would happen usually. We'd say like in between things, I'd say, what did you do for your gatherers or whatever? Or we can make a whole thing out of it. I might have somebody come to you and be like, oh, we represent, this guild and we need you to go do this thing. And then it might be a fun little side tangent adventure, which is fun.
Okay.
All right, cool. All right, so Master of Spy. I believe you're the only one that has spies as well. I don't think anybody else has those because there's 3 different types of spies. But I don't think anybody else has any. All right, cool. So yeah, you get the lay of the land for Kuriyama. Yeah, I guess we'll just go ahead and approach the house.
Yeah, I feel like Kaede would like just walk up and I mean, with the calm demeanor, she's just gonna, she walked through the gate, just gonna keep walking, go up and gently knock on the door.
All right, that works. So if you knock on the door, you are greeted by kind of a petite, like woman, not dressed all that great, a little bit of a commoner, barely 20 years old. And but she introduces herself as Cho. And and again, like just immediately you can tell that she's like probably the only person who works here. Like it's probably the family and her, and she's the one who tends to the family. And she says, yes, may I help you?
We are here to answer a letter about a missing child. We're here about a child that is missing. We are all here, and I just motion, and I'm like, let's just do this.
Yeah, and she's like, oh yes. She immediately, come in. She leads you to the main room where you have Sai there. If you can make a empathy and intuition check, just all of you can make this. Empathy and intuition, and I need to know who gets at least 1 success.
How many dice?
Yeah, the number of dice that are your empathy and intuition.
I got 1 success.
That's,
out of 5
all
dice.
All you need is 1.
I got a 7.
I got 2. What was the success? I have an 8 and a 10.
Yeah, so 7s, 8s, and 9s are 1 success. 10s are 2. So if you got a 7, that means you got 1 success. If you got an 8 and a 10, that means you got 3 successes. 0.
3.
What? All right, so everybody got 1 except for Ine then, I guess. Did you roll, Sasha? Did I get
Okay, so just so I know, so I roll again the D10 and I combine the 2, the empathy and the.
Okay, so you would roll, it's empathy and intuition. So Ryota's empathy is 2,
Yep.
and his intuition is 3. So you will roll 5 dice.
Okay, so 5d10, right?
5d10, correct.
Okay.
And then 7s, 8s, and 9s are 1 success, 10s are 2.
Okay. I got 1 8 and a 5.
All right, so 1 success. That's all we needed. Everybody who succeeded, so not Ine, and actually it kind of makes sense that Ine probably wouldn't even care. But you can tell that he has been crying recently. So he is obviously distraught about something. Who knows what that would be, if not the thing that you guys are here for. But he greets you, and Cho comes and serves everybody tea so that, you can, hospitality and whatnot is necessary. But yeah. He says, thank you for coming. My daughter's been missing, and it's been 3 days. She's not been found at school. None of the city guards have claimed to see her. He says the last thing that we did, and he's kind of like, again, like he's kind of doing the motor mouth sort of thing where he's kind of just throwing a lot of information out at you guys, almost without you even asking. And he's, the last thing that we did was fight. The last time I saw her, it was about her new friends and the fact that she wouldn't bring them here to be officially presented to me. Of course, now she's gone, and I may never see her again. He starts pleading, please find her. She's my last remnant of my family. The rest of my family is gone in this ridiculous war. And he starts all of a sudden, like you can see the tears maybe starting to well up again. He's very, very upset about this. So
Can I
do you
attempt
have
to
any-
calm him? Like
Would you
calming
like to calm
words
him?
or like hand on shoulder, or
If you would like to calm him, you definitely can.
is that like a roll or just
yes.
just
Oh,
like
yeah.
role played? Okay.
No. It's so well. I mean, it would be essentially we can role play it, and then that will determine your difficulty. Like if you're just like
Got
cheer
it.
up and slap him on the back, then I'll be like, oh, difficulty 5 million maybe. But if you're
How did you know that's exactly what Kunio was gonna do?
oh no, cheer up, everybody dies.
Ine just doesn't care. She's like, yeah, we've all lost things, and just like gestures towards her eye that's missing.
Exactly.
I'm sure you have another daughter.
But if you did want to make a roll, you could use, let's say, it would be probably an empathy and persuasion roll.
Empathy
Probably
and
be it, which isn't terrible for you.
persuasion.
You'd have 4 dice for that.
Okay.
I-
Is it okay if I roll and then role play it to determine
like
like
that.
by the roll? Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
1 success.
Okay, so that would mean that you'd be able to calm them down a bit, but you're not going to get them to like completely stop.
So I just put a hand on his shoulder and I say, yes, we're here. And then I kind of back off a little because I see a lot of emotions coming out. I'm like, okay,
They're there.
So,
they're there.
You're there.
would I use a +1 for my discipline for the gift of a truly skilled aristocrat to sort of kind of put on an air to like give him the sense of like we're here, we're going to take care of it, is that something I could do?
So what you're saying is you want to like make it known, like to reassure him,
Correct.
and you want to use your +1 from Kuge.
Yes.
Cool. So then, yeah, make a discipline and persuasion roll. So you're going to completely differ. You're like, I don't care about the emotions. Look, dude, we're here to help you.
So it's discipline and which one?
And persuade.
Persuade. Okay, so discipline is 2, persuade is 2, and then +1.
Your persuade is 3.
Oh, okay.
So discipline 2, persuade 3, and then you get the +1 because from your Kuge.
So 6.
Yes.
Right. I got 1 9 and 1 10.
So 3 successes. Awesome. That's more than enough. He understands the language of nobility, and the wording that you probably use some like jargon, some political jargon or something. We will get you your house and your honor back. Something to that effect. I think that works out really well. So he's calm now. So I will say that if you have any other questions for him, he is in a condition where he can answer them. There are other things that there are other places. If you wanted to check out the house, you could check out the house. There's places, there's other things that you can do besides just talk to him if you wanted to do some other things.
Okay, so since my character is literally the face and that's all I can really do, so what we know is that his daughter, when exactly did his daughter disappear?
3 days ago.
Okay.
How old is your
Okay,
child?
that
She is 15.
15.
Is there anyone who might have a grudge or a vendetta against your family?
He says not. I mean, I don't have that many friends, but I also don't have that many enemies. At this point, a lot of political families almost would find it beneath them to attack my family. But that's not to say that I'm friends with everybody.
Who are these friends that she has begun to?
He says, I have no clue. I tried to get her to talk with me about them, and she refused.
What about her teachers? Have they seen these people that she has been congregating with?
I have contacted the schools. None of them have been able to get me any real information.
On the 3 days ago, when did she disappear? During the day, the evening?
We had a fight. She went to bed, and then she was gone.
So in the morning. Who
May
guards?
we investigate?
Of course, my estate is open to you.
Who was on guard that night?
On guard in what way?
Watching the house. Do you have any guards who watch the?
No, we don't have any guards here. There's rarely any need for guards in this sort of in this sort of town. Our estates are walled off, so there are guards at the gate, out there. The town is highly guarded as well. So I've been able to cut my expenses, as it were, in order to devote my money to the fight.
And those guards who were at those gate points, they did not see your daughter nor anyone going to and fro.
Not that I have been able to find, no.
Okay. And your maid, your housekeeper,
Assistant, or
assistant.
basically housekeeper, but yes, I don't know what the actual word for that would be, but yes,
Alright.
essentially his housekeeper.
All right. Did she see your daughter after your fight with your daughter?
He says, no, she has not seen her.
All right. Okay.
I'm just going to motion towards whoever else in this group would be inclined to go with my character to investigate the child's room.
Okay.
Yes, I would like to go.
All right. So who's gonna go and search the room? Okay, so
I
Kay
head
is gonna
straight to the
go,
room.
and Kino's gonna go. I think that's a good group. I think the two of them is fine. So does anybody want to interview Cho?
I will.
I'm gonna go with you because Ninja. I don't know how much of a talker you are.
We don't need Cho to end up dead at the end of this.
No,
I'll
we
just
don't.
stare at her until she tells me everything I want to know.
I love
Okay, well then what I'll also say here is, so for Ine, I'm going to say you kind of look around the house, kind of just in general. You'll notice a portrait of a nobleman, his wife, and Maya, giving you an idea of what she looks like and whatnot, approximately 15 years old. And if you ask Sai about it, he will say that his wife died about a year ago, killed by an anti-ninja supporter. And that Maya has never forgiven him, leading to an almost constant rebellion on her part. So he does divulge that information. So essentially, his wife was killed because he's trying to fight for Ninja. So, the daughter doesn't like that. And for Koriyama, along the wall, let me see. So on the wall, you also notice that there are a series of paintings, each of which is a different type of beautiful environment, from a lakeside to the mountain's peak and whatnot. And Sai looks like he's kind of just sitting there and just kind of staring at the one that is a field of wildflowers. He seems to be kind of looking intently on that one. So, all right, cool. So who's going to interview Cho? Who's doing that one?
I think
That's Kaneo and Ryota.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are you going to question her? Are you going to bring her out and question her, or are you going to try and get her alone and question her? There's slightly different results based on how you question her.
I think so. So if we get her alone, she might open up, but she also might be intimidated. So I think we need to set the scene for her to feel that she can openly speak, but not
Okay.
feel like that we're going to, stab her and then like hide her body. So,
Well,
uh,
remember, she wasn't scared of you guys. Like when she noticed you guys were ninjas, she's like, "Oh yeah, totally, come on in." Like, she realizes you guys are there to help, so she's not scared of you guys. Well, she might be scared of Koriyama a bit, because he's kind of huge, but otherwise, she's okay. She's not like scared or anything.
um,
Okay.
I think doing it in private.
Okay,
So,
all right.
Yeah.
All right. So she's, refreshing the tea in the kitchen, and you find her there. How do you approach her? Tell me.
uh, I think I will approach her quietly,
Mm-hmm.
and I will I will talk very quietly and go, Lady of what is her name was Koryam? No, it was
Cho.
Cho. Yes, Lady of the House Cho.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna turn this up a little bit. Can you say that again?
So so mind you, my character has been just using a fan quietly because, Asian dramas, all aristocrats have fans.
Of
So
course.
my character just quietly has this like little fan softly wafting, and my character just goes, Lady of the House Cho.
Oh, and she's like, "Oh, yes. Yeah. Hello. I'm getting more tea. I apologize that I am not as fast. I'm only one set of hands.
Do not worry. May we have a word with
Of course, of course. Is it about Maya?
you, of course? We would like to know, since you most likely have been very close with her, what you think might have gone on.
All right, so make a roll, and then we'll see if I think that's pretty straightforward. I kind of like that. It's going to be a persuasion and empathy roll.
Okay. So,
Since Kaneo's there, if Kaneo's better in one of those skills, then you guys can work together.
all right. My numbers. So empathy is 2, and persuade is 3. And I'm specifically skilled in oratory, so I'm a really good.
You have all around better skills in that than I do.
Okey dokey.
I was just gonna intimidate her.
Oh gosh. Yeah, I guess Kaneo's there if you fail your roll.
Nifty. All right. So I got a 9, a 10, and a 9.
Nice. All right, very cool. Well then that's definitely I needed 2, so you got it. She basically says that I was sworn to secrecy. I wasn't allowed to tell the master anything. But I do know of her 2 friends. His name's Goro and Isi, and she's been hanging out a lot with them. But I haven't met them myself. I kind of heard their names offhand because Maya let them slip by accident. You are correct. They actually are kind of close, with her being like 19 and Maya's 15. Like they're actually not that far apart, so they actually do get along very well. So she's usually a little bit secretive, but she let it slip. So then Cho got at least a little bit of the information, but she had been hanging out with 2 boys named Goro and Isi.
Has the mention of a clan or a last name passed by your ears?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Has the name of a clan or a last name for either of these done that?
She says no, I hadn't. But since you're Ryota specifically, if you want to make a just a double knowledge roll for me, then you might know, just because you're in politics, you might be like, well, I know this guy and I know his son's name is this and his, whatever. You might get something from that.
So 2 knowledge rolls. Okay.
Yeah, so knowledge times 2. So whatever your knowledge is, roll double that many dice.
Okay. I got an 8 and
Got an 8 and a 9.
yes.
Okay. Let me see here. Let's see what it requires here. Yeah. So I'm going to say, yeah, you actually do know. You know that the Nitake are here in town. There's also 3 other political families: the Iri, the Soso, and the Rakusa. So you know that there are other noble families here. Nikita is not the only ones here. And you do recognize Ire is a member of the Rakusa family. Is it the Rakusa family? Hold on, let me see. No, he's a member of the Ire family. Is that right? Now I'm sorry, I'm trying to read it really fast. Yeah, the Ire family. So yes. So Isi is a member of the Ire family.
Okay. From my knowledge, what do I know about the Erie family?
Let me see. The Erie family, nobody's in this town because they're liked.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are no nobles here that are liked in the court, because that's how you end up here.
Right.
But they, I would say, are on a slightly higher tier than Sai is.
Okay. And why did they fall from grace?
I don't have that written here.
That is fine. Okay. So cool. We got two young kids being young kids. Awesome.
Yes.
My character is internally rolling his eyes and going, "Oh God." So yeah.
So there's that. Okay, so Kaneo, Mike, did you want to do anything with Kaneo in this scene? Was there anything else you wanted to possibly do before I shift over to searching the room? Or are you good with that outcome?
I'm good with that outcome. Kunio externally rolls his eyes.
He's just like, man, I wanted to scare somebody. Love scaring people, young people. It's crazy. All right, cool. So searching the room there, then that's going to be Kaede and Kino. So even if you didn't think about it, he was going to offer, but there you go. So when you get to the room, let's see, make a tough. So we're going to need 3 successes: perception and intuition check.
Oh, those are great ones for me.
Is it?
Yeah, 3 on each.
Oh, wow.
And that is 3 successes.
That's exactly what you needed. So, yeah. So Kaede and Kino, like they're in the room. Kino's like, "All right, where we first looked?" You're like, "There." That's where you look.
Clearly, it's right. Just follow my lead, and I just walk in and.
So with a success, you actually realize 2 things. First, you realize that her bedroll has a layer of dust at least 2 weeks old over it.
Look at this. She hasn't been sleeping in her bed for 2 weeks.
Exactly. That's actually what the next sentence was here, but you said it out loud. Good. You also, I'm going to say Kino finds this because it's more fun. But you find a slate in the floor underneath her vanity, like the leg of her vanity, that can be removed. Oh, I think you muted yourself. I think you're
still muted.
I can't mute you.
All right, yeah. I am now unmuted. Computers. So Kate, hey, come check this out.
What is that?
I know, it's a slate, it's moving.
Well, pick it up.
So I pick it up.
You do that. There's a hole there, and there's a leather bag in there. Looks kind of full, like it's nice and thick.
I definitely take the bag out.
Oh
and
yeah, we
check
rip
out
into
the
that.
contents.
All right.
Yeah.
You pull it out, it's heavy, and it looks like there's several pieces of jewelry inside.
Hmm.
Does this look
And-
like stolen jewelry or?
I was thinking the same thing.
I would say that it's pretty obvious that you can tell. It says make a roll here, but it's pretty obvious you can tell. So I'm not even gonna force a roll. Yeah, it's definitely stolen things. Yeah.
So she's a little ninja herself. Is that what we're discovering here? We line it all up on the bed.
Yeah, then
Just all
there
the
are all
different
various
things.
sizes and styles. A couple of them actually have a couple of like family, like noble family emblems on them and stuff. So like they're stealing, yeah, they got and different families, so they're stealing it from everybody.
Can we tell, would it be something we can tell if it's like noble families within this village or like
I would
venturing
say
out?
I would say you might like Ryota might be able to check that out and know.
I was gonna say, yeah, that we should have Ryota take a look at some of the family emblem jewelry to
Yeah.
see if he knows.
Why don't you call Ryota? I don't know if maybe we should have her father know that she's been stealing things. Maybe we should keep that
Yeah,
quiet, at least for now.
agreed.
He's got a lot of stress.
Yes. We don't want to excite him again.
All right, cool. So so at that point, everybody's, I guess, found everything that they're gonna find. So regroup. What's the next step? Since we've hit an hour, so I'm trying to shuffle it along here. Otherwise, I'd let you guys just kind of talk and have fun with it. But
Probably discreetly show Ryota the items.
Yeah.
okay.
Could I can we pull him aside and
Oh yeah,
kind of say like, hey, we found this in the room.
yeah.
What do you make of this?
Okay, so Ryota currently has been like flapping his like little fan and has this look of like just like so done with all this. So he looks at these. Are these the clans of this particular town?
Yes, yeah. It's in most of the families that, well, not all the jewelry even has crests on them, but the ones that do, yeah, there's a lot of them, and actually a lot of them are from the Ire family that you
Okay.
know one of the boys belongs to.
Okay. Question: what type of jewelry is this? Is this the type
Mostly
of-
bracelets, rings, brooches, combs, things like that.
Would this be the type of jewelry that a young suitor would give another? Like this is something that would be befitting somebody of her age.
I'd say that there's a couple of those in there. A couple of them look like wedding, like like there's a couple of wedding rings in there. So yeah, there's it's a varying styles and whatnot. It's definitely not like something he's like, here, I love you. It's like, no, they probably stole it.
Yeah.
They stole it together. That's how they show their love.
My character, the little fan goes, and he's just like, he just nods, right. He seems to be quite popular. So it seems, I think we need to find out which house she might have decided to make a little nest. So.
All right.
Do we return these items or?
I think these were sent to her by suitors. All of these are the type of things that a young noble would send somebody like her.
They are stolen.
Stolen is quite a harsh word, more like borrowed from their parents for the idea of young love and hormones. So, yeah.
So now we're the ones borrowing it?
Ryota seems above stolen trinkets.
We are going to
Operating expenses.
We're going to return
Exactly.
them to the young suitors whose hearts, I'm sure, have been crushed by the weight of young love. My character just has this like, wait.
It's okay. It's okay. None of them belong to you. You're fine.
Yep.
All right, cool. Well
Is-
then,
Is this too late? One thing I wanted to kind of, you mentioned of painting a moment ago. I kind of wanted to see if I could like talk to Dad and gesture, if I can like, examine it.
yeah, most
Um,
definitely.
I might take it off the wall, just kind of flip it over, see if there's any obvious things out of place or any markings.
Yeah, no, no, there's definitely no markings or anything. But he when you take it off of the wall and you're like examining it, he's just like, oh, I mean, if you need that as payment, I mean, you definitely can take it. Whatever it takes to get my daughter back. But he does mention that like that's where she used to play when she was younger. But to his knowledge, like she doesn't really go into that area anymore. That's a painting of her favorite part of the town. It was near the eastern wall.
So this is in this region, in this
Yeah,
town.
it's in this town.
Okay. Nice painting.
Do we all know, like, Kate and I were in the room. Have we been caught up on the information that everyone else gave?
Yeah, we'll say you guys regroup and everybody has shared everything. It's easiest that way.
All right. So then
Let's see
I'm
role play.
wondering
Yeah.
if we should, now that we know about the two friends, if we should go visit their houses.
Mm.
Especially the one that some of the jewels were stolen from.
Right.
Could I ascertain how important this, I mean, Kurayami is talking about the painting to us, right? Can I maybe try to perceive or intuition like whether that would be the best way to go first?
So, well, I'll tell you as the GM, there is a fun side thing with if you go and investigate the other family, but it isn't 100% pertinent to the storyline. It is a side quest, as it were. So it just depends on what you guys want to do.
So investigating the other families or investigating the location?
And no, investigating the other family, that's a side quest.
Okay.
So since it's 10 o'clock, and as
Go
much
with
as
the painting.
everyone loves,
Yes,
I guess
painting.
we'll go-
Painting.
Yes,
Uh,
let's go with the painting.
Which I'm fine with as well. I mean, and essentially, yeah, if you guys go to the okay, so you guys, since it's Koriyama who's already kind of got the idea of the wildflower, which was kind of why I gave it to him. Here's a cool thing. Let's use a jutsu. Koriyama, you have a thing that you can do because you have a tracking thing. Like that's what you do. Like it's like literally if you use your tracking thing, we move right to the next scene. Like it's nothing. Like that's kind of the fun thing about magic in a game is essentially it just breaks all the rules. It's like without Koriyama here, it'd be like, where do we go next? Well, let's investigate this. Let's investigate that. If he's here, it's like, no, we're going over there.
Is that an ability or just one of the skills that I would roll for?
That is one of your jutsu, as a matter of fact. Let's see here. Which one is that called? If I recall, it is called. Well, you have the hunt begins essentially, which would raise your tracking by a lot, and then you would make a roll and then follow the track.
Okay, let's do that. What skill would that be that I roll?
So the hunt begins is yang and perception, and this is you activating your crazy dog nose smelling stuff. So your yang is 2 and your perception is 1. So you're rolling 3 dice.
3, okay. Let's see. Rolling. I have a 9 and a 1 and a 3.
Okay, no, that's fine. You need 1, so that's fine.
All right. Awesome.
So that's going to get you +3. So now you're going to make a perception and survival roll and roll with a +3. So your perception is 1, your survival is 2.
2.
You're rolling 6 dice.
Okay. Okay, I have an 8, 6, 6, 10, 3, and a 5.
Okay, so 7, 8, and 9 are successes. 10 is 2. So tell me how many successes you get.
I have a 10 and an 8, so that would be 3.
3 successes. Bam. That's I probably only needed 2, but you know, having an extra one for shits and giggles is good.
Make it all even.
So yeah, essentially, like you guys, you know, you're the tracker. So you know, all you would have needed is like an article of clothing from her room, and then you would like, bam, send, let's do it. Bam, let's go. So as you guys start running through the forest and whatnot, you can tell you start following the track, and even as you follow the scent as of it, you start to also see footprints and whatnot as well. And you can tell that one set of the footprints belongs to probably someone with, you know, smaller stature, smaller weight, you know, that sort of thing, probably Maya's. And you can tell that there's one other set also traveling with her. So you can tell that. They all lead to the eastern wall past the wildflowers. So if you didn't have Koriyama here, but you had gotten the wildflowers, that would have brought you here anyway. But when you look, there's actually like a small hole at the base of the wall. So if you're a smaller person, like a teenager, you can easily kind of slip under the wall. Like you'll get dirty and stuff, but you can get out of the town. And that's definitely where it's taking you guys. They've left the town. Crawling underneath is just fine and easy, but you will get dirty, or you can climb the wall.
I'm gonna try to climb the wall.
Hey.
I'm thinking my character would get sidetracked from all the flowers. And kind of like, oh, herbs.
Honestly, there are some pretty good. You can use those wildflowers for something if you wanted to cultivate those. You could.
Yes, I will.
That would be a holistics and survival roll.
Oh goodness, what am I at for that? Let's see.
How large are mine? I'm sorry.
Holistics is 4 and survival is 3.
Right. Again, that's what your character is made to do. So
Yeah.
7 dice out of the gate, no modifier.
I mean, like I'm already at 4. Do I keep rolling?
Well, how many dice do you have?
I'm only
You
rolling
had 7.
1 multiple times.
Oh, okay. No, roll until you get it, because something fun might happen.
Okay, 6.
So you ended
I
up
had a 10 in there.
All right, cool. So if you'll notice, I just upped your guys' karma by 1. That can happen if you roll really, really well on a roll, then you can get a karma. You can also get a karma if you roll really, really bad on a roll. So you get rewarded for doing well or terribly. It's fun.
Hey.
Yay, but that was a really good roll. So you cultivated some wildflowers, and we won't belabor it. A lot of the time, I like to push the person who's playing Ryota to be like, are you really going to get your silk dirty?
Oh, I'm not. I was actually going to ask, can I use my strands to just propel myself up and just be like, you know, like wrap it around and just be like, goodbye.
You 100% can. That's actually what skilled strands is. You just be like, cool. And then just pull yourself up with them.
Oh, absolutely. I was not going to get myself.
I'm not going to make anybody make any rolls, but yes, you definitely, you use the strands and you go all spider-like. And you know, the other people can just jump over and whatnot. All right, so moving on to the next scene though. So let's see, what are we doing here? All right, so you find the trail and you are following it up, and probably about 30 minutes of tracking goes by, and you're following the same set of footprints and whatnot, until you overhear a slight sound. You overhear something while you guys are going through the forest. So you can make a perception roll. That's going to be whatever your perception is times 2. Roll that. And I need at least 2 successes, and then I will tell you what you hear if you make your roll. 1 success? All right.
Just the one. I got 2.
All right, so Kino has 2.
I got one.
1. So whatever your perception is, 2 for Ine, okay. Two for you as well. And then Koriyama, what do you got?
0 successes. I had a 4 and a 2.
Okay. All right. So, all right. So for those of you who succeeded, you hear the sounds of a young man crying ahead. So how do you want to approach this?
I feel like my character would start running to aid the guy because
Where are you going?
he's crying.
We're
Okay.
following
Must
the
be
trail
hurt.
here.
Someone
I have to
complained,
check.
but I really couldn't care less.
Bye, healer.
Well, you would care less about you'd care less about the crying, but more the fact that this is probably one of the 2 boys. So, so less emotional and more.
I'll reluctantly
getting out of
follow.
business.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
coming
cool.
from
So-
like this person might be injured, like obviously they're in distress. I must go help them.
Oh no. All right. So what I'm gonna do is to make it fun, I'm gonna activate. Do you have a trigger that we can use on that?
Yeah, I
Let's
think I do.
Let's see. I think you have
Hold on.
let me see.
Oh, where is it? Is it the oh.
Yes, it's under Plague Survivor. It's
Yes.
you have an urge to heal and it puts you in danger.
Yes.
So so what I'm going to say is that's going to get you a karma. So that's
Welcome,
fun.
guys.
I have to figure out how that's going to put you in danger though. So yeah, so I'm going to say you run immediately off to start like, oh, I have to help this person. And as you go, you actually step on a trap and you spring a trap. I'm going to say that it like cuts your arm, like basically like these sharpened like wooden like blades like come down and they swipe and they hit you. So you're like, oh, you're kind of leaning up against a wall with like your arm wounded. I'm not going to deal any damage or anything, but I'm going to say like it hurts enough that it's hard for you to like move it right now. So, which is normally there's a whole mechanic and stuff behind it, but I like it more as flavor.
Is it possible for Koriyama to kind of sense or detect the trap and like knock her out of the way and take the damage for her?
I would say no, because we activated the trigger.
Yeah, I have to.
If it wasn't a trigger, I would say you can totally take the hit for her. But in this case, we activated her trigger, which means it has to be bad for her. So cool. All right. So that happened. But what you see, I'll say Ine, you can pay a little bit more attention. You and Kino, kind of the 2 who moved up really quick. You see the boy. There is a boy crying at in front of a fire. He is obviously drunk. He is slobberingly crying right now. And there's a lot of commotion, and there's 2 tents. Kind of, it's basically like a small little camp area that they have. And behind him is 2 tents, and you hear some rustling in one of them. When the trap goes off, you hear a voice from inside one of the tents going, "Oh shit!" And there's definitely somebody who's about to come out. But I'm going to give you like a split second to do something. What would you like to do in the split second where you've seen the scene, you know somebody's about to come out of the tent? What do you do?
Ooh.
Can I turn into dog form, just kind of run up on the tent, poke my head in?
Well, hold on. This is for Ine. Because Ine
sorry.
Ine said I run up too. So it was just Kino and Ine who
sorry.
said they were going. No, it's fine.
I'll just keep continuing towards the tents.
Towards the what?
I'll just keep walking, continuing towards the tents.
Okay, so all right, and you even if the drunk kid wanted to do anything, he can't because he's drunk. But you go to the tent and you see that there's another kid who he's kind of like holding some of these like really expensive like robes in his arms. And yeah, and he's like, he drops them and he like kind of pulls out a knife, but you can tell he's holding it wrong and he's definitely not a fighter. So he has no clue how to actually do anything to you. But he did pull a knife on you, so I'm just pointing that out.
I'll pull my katana out and just say, "Are you sure you want to do that?"
Well, and he'll even say, he'll be like, "Well, what do you want? This is our tent. What do you want? This is our camp."
Pretty sure that what you have here are stolen goods. Also, I'm assuming that the girl that's there is Maya.
There's no girl there.
Oh, there's no girl. It's just the guy
No,
there.
there was the drunk boy by the fire, and then this other boy.
Got it. Also, I'd like to know if you know anything about Maya's whereabouts.
When you say the name Maya,
Mhm.
you could like, he stays silent, but you can tell like there's like there's definitely something there. Oh man, I'm trying not to get him killed right now. Because like, I guess I think the character would probably like, I don't know. Do you want to make a roll of some sort? What do you want to have happen here? Are you trying to scare him into submission to get him to answer? Or are you completely happy with reacting to whatever he does?
Mostly wanting information, but I'm also not above causing harm.
Okay. I'm gonna say he actually tries to stab you. Like, he actually tries to lunge forward with his knife. And again, he has no clue how to do it. I'm not going to have you roll initiative or anything. This is an unskilled fighter. He has no idea how to wield this thing. So how do you react when somebody who does not know how to wield a knife still tries to stab you? So
I'll, using my katana, try to hit the arm that's holding the knife.
just with the flat of the blade? Or are you slicing his arm off?
No, slicing his arm off.
I mean, no, okay, so no, because this Ine we're talking about, Ine doesn't, she doesn't really have a filter, so I'm okay with you if you wanted to cut his arm off.
I don't necessarily need to kill him, but he tried to hit me, so he's gonna lose an arm.
I'm gonna say that happens. I'm not even gonna make you roll. So Ine, so you guys, the rest of the group is now coming upon the camp, and you have the one guy by the fire crying, and now you have as you come up, you hear, "Ah!" and now, another kid comes out with his, basically I'm gonna say it's like cut like right there. I mean, blood, there's lots of blood because it's an anime sort of thing. So there's like fountain of blood coming out of the arm. All right.
Can I say like,
they're gonna bleed out soon?
Yeah, he probably will. Yeah.
can I say like, Ine, what are you doing? And I'm like hobbling over because my arm is like killing me. What are you doing? And I'm trying my best to mend the situation with the arm being gone.
Well, he wanted to stab me. No idea what he was doing, but actions have consequences.
I like that. Actually. If you wanted to bandage it up, it's a holistics and speed roll right now because you need to get it before he bleeds out. So speed.
All right. So where do I see speed here?
Speed?
Speed is 2, 4, 6. I got a 10, so that's 2. 3, 4, 5.
Are you at 5, 6, 7 successes? What?
Yeah.
All
I
right.
got 2 10s and an 8.
Well, you bandaged it up like a champ. Jeez, that was amazing, actually.
One hand, everybody. One hand.
Don't forget to get your own arm, Kino.
That was like magic. Yeah, her arm is still like,
I
"Wah."
know.
Yeah.
I'll get
This is what
to it.
happens when we don't go into things calmly. I
Wow.
just kind of eyeball them as I walk up slowly behind this whole situation.
So
I feel like with that many successes, she should be able to reattach the arm.
Yeah.
I mean, okay,
Honestly, yeah, well, I will actually say that. So I will say, well, you can either get the karma point or you can reattach the arm.
Ooh, I think we have enough karma. Let's
We have a
reattach
lot of
the
karma.
arm.
I'm okay with that. I like that. That means that you're a nice person, and that's good. You're a nicer person than Ine. So
That's definitely a lesson
For
learned.
a reason.
so
all right. Well then, so Kino bandages him up, and essentially now you're left with one kid who is again slobberingly drunk, and the kid who is he has the large gourd mostly empty of sake. He's yelling things like, "You should just kill us both. We deserve it." Like he's literally like he's completely happy. Like if you were just to murder him, or he's sad. He's very sad about it. But Ryota, you will notice that the kid with the arm that has just recently been reattached is the one that's Goro Ire,
It was backwards.
who
Yeah.
belonged to the noble family.
So I'm going to just kind of walk in, just more like saunter, my fan continuously going, and I just walk in and I just sort of crouch down. And I say his name very slowly, and I go, "You've been a very naughty boy. So this is what we're going to do. You're going to tell what happened. You're going to tell me where she is. And if you tell me these things, you're not going to have to deal with complaints. Because the one over there that cut off your arm, she's the nice one."
I like that. I'm not even gonna make you roll for that because I think cutting off his arm made him compliant anyway. But I like that actually quite a bit. So I'm gonna say, I mean, definitely, like, they weren't gonna win in any kind of fight, but essentially oh gosh, let me see here. EC is the one who's by the fire. He's useless. He's blah, 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 he's not even able to really say much. But Goro basically says Maya is gone. He says we were traveling south. We were actually just taking a walk when we found an iron caravan. And an iron caravan is like when the Empire has troops that travel. Those are the iron caravans. And he says it looked like there might have been some stuff that we might have been able to steal from there, like maybe an Imperial crest or something like that. But, because the soldiers were out doing exercises and stuff, so we were like, maybe we can get something. But they caught us, and they held us captive for about 3 days, and we were let out about just a few hours ago. We were let out. Then EC like immediately cries like, "We shouldn't have done it. This is the worst. We're terrible people." So.
All right. So one, I would ask, what were you trying to take? Like I clapped my fan and I just like bop him on the head. Why were you trying to take crests and other things from soldiers?
Because we might have been able to sell them.
What were you trying to do? Run away, get married, start some other plan? And just looking at him like, really?
He literally he says no. I mean, he says I wasn't looking to get married. I was trying to help them out.
I kind of look over at the drunkard. Charming. So they
Yep.
kept her?
He says, yeah. he says there was a man with the caravan. He had scars all over his face. We were like just so scared, and I mean, he gave us a choice, and he said that the two of us could go free if he said two of us could go free if we left one behind. And
why did you leave her?
I mean, it's a sick game that he was trying to play with us, and I'm sure Maya might have, betrayed me eventually. So, I left, and EC followed me, and I guess they kept Maya.
All right, my character describe what the man looked like.
Yeah, large man with scars all over his body.
Anything ring a bell for my character?
There is a type of imperial soldier that are called executioners, who are possessed with the spirits of demons that make them immune to jutsu sometimes. And that's a general description of them would be that essentially the process drives many of them mad and leads them to have scars all over the body from self-mutilation. So
okay, so my character just kind of lifts the kid's chin, and like, this is what you're going to do. You're going to pick up your things, you're going to sober your friend, you're going to go back home. You're going to tell our person, what's his name, what naughty little boys you've been, and you're going to beg forgiveness. And hopefully, she's going to still be alive. Because if she's not, one of my friends here are going to help her father make sure to make an example out of you.
At that moment, I come out behind him from the shadows and say, that would be me.
And I just smile. Yeah, I just make this. Yeah, I just make this like with my hand in my fan, and like, and guess what? I don't get to choose. So go.
I'm gonna like hand them the bag that we acquired from Maya's room.
Oh, okay.
And be like, also just very calmly, because I have like no intimidation. Just gonna be like, I don't want us to be found with these. Please take them with you and return them. I'm just gonna like gesture wildly at the people that are threatening them and be like,
okay. He picks his friend up, and I'll say that they head on their way. He basically says, like, it kind of gives you guys the general direction of where they should be, because the Iron Caravan hasn't moved in a few days. So you should be able to find them. He tells you guys where they are.
And I wave and say, feel better, as they walk away.
My character just has this band just being like, right. So how far away is this?
Is it kids?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say it's maybe. Let me see. Do I actually have it here? It doesn't actually say. So it's it's Hamina distance away. It's however long the distance away is great for the plot. So
but I guess my question is, with my spider scrying,
mm-hmm.
how far can I send out my strings to listen into their camp?
So let me see here, and I have to let me bring up that. Let me see, spider.
Because I assume I'm going to have to sit somewhere and not move to be able to like do this. So.
It's not necessarily, because it's within yen miles. So whatever your yen is, it's within that many miles.
Cool. 3.
Yeah. So yeah, Spider Scry is one of my very favorite jutsu, because it makes everybody paranoid in the group. Because it's like, if you have a conversation that's very important and you didn't check everywhere, like, then probably somebody overheard it. All right. So yeah, so no, that's up to yen miles, however many yen you have. I don't actually know.
I have 3 yen miles.
So then it would be 3 miles.
Okay.
So you could be like Spider Scry here, and then you could go. and then
All right. I guess what I'm trying to do is I would like to send out my spider scrying too close to the camp so we can hear what's
Mhm.
going on.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
that's what I'm attempting.
I see what you're saying. Okay, so when you get to the camp, that's when you want to do it. Gotcha.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Because at this, so you guys get to you guys are heading in the direction of the camp. Let's see. Yeah, it's like he pulls out a scroll and he's like, yeah, it's there. So you guys know exactly where to go. So it is actually 4 Iron Caravan carts, basically. So like, they encircle the middle where there's like a bonfire there. So they're, 4, one on either side. There's 2 soldiers at either side of each of the 4. So that's 8 right there. If anybody, I know you guys are doctors, I'm sure you guys can do math. So I should probably not try to do that. So yeah, so there's that, and then you can guess that there's likely another 5 or so soldiers in the forest somewhere around here, probably scouting, checking around. So yeah, there you go. There are lots of soldiers to deal with. So even like a really powerful group of ninjas, you should probably know where to, like you should center where your plan of attack to what you're going to do. So many of you have options, and it's nice that I wrote down options here. So it says that Koriyama from the Pack of the Black Moon has jutsu to smell, so you could be like, oh, I know where Maya is in the camp, so that's a good thing that you could do. Ryota, isn't that interesting? Can use either skilled strings or spider scry jutsu together. Means that you can send imbued strings into each wagon to listen to conversations and figure out what's happening. So I actually see you're already thinking ahead of the adventure. Ine has danger sense, so you would immediately know like when the next danger action was going to happen. And Tadao is not actually in the game here, so there's that. So those are some options on how you might want to find the girl. It's nice.
Would I already have her scent since we kind of tracked her to the other area?
Yeah, so you have the scent, but it's new scene, so you'd have to make a new roll.
Okay, so that would be.
Plus, it's also might be buried under the other like 15 or so people's here's scent.
So what skill would that be? That would be the hunt begins, basic yang plus perception. So 2 + 1, 3 dice.
Yeah, so the hunt begins, that's to activate the jutsu, and then that would give you +3 to your actual roll then at that point.
Okay, so I want to activate that first and then do the roll to see.
Right, if activate that first and then do it. Ine, do you want to activate danger sense?
Yeah, how does that work?
So danger sense is, let me see. That's why I got your characters up on here so I can easily access them. Danger sense is a yang plus intuition. So your yang is 2, and your intuition is, looks like 0 actually. Well, you have 2 dice if nothing else. So it's fine. It's something.
So
You have karma too, right?
What's that? Oh, and
You
there's
have
karma dice
karma
too.
too.
Yeah, there's karma dice too. So Ine, did you succeed?
No, I did not.
So you got no successes.
Use the karma dice.
Use
Yeah.
the
We
karma.
have 8 of them.
Can I just do 1?
Yeah, you can do 1.
Let's see. Oof. Nope.
Do another one.
Did you want to do another?
More.
There we go. I got a success.
Okay, one is good. That'll get you your +2 initiative. If combat starts, you get a bonus initiative, so it's good. Koriyama, what'd you get?
I have 2 successes, a 7 and an 8.
All right, awesome. So go ahead and roll now with your +3. And did you want to use your spider scry?
Yep, I think, didn't you say I could mix it with my skill strands?
Yeah, essentially, because spider scry is usually you do it right here, whereas if you have skilled strands, you can send them in and then do it there.
So
But just make one roll, and we'll just say that you did it. Because
so I'd be using a craft roll or the intuition?
Well, let's see. Spider Scry is yin and
Oh,
perception.
perception. Okay, perception.
Yeah. Or I mean, yeah. So skilled strands is yang and intuition. Spider Scry is yin and perception. So use the better of the two, and then we'll go with that. So it looks like your yin is going to be your better one.
Yes. All
So
right.
because that'll give you
got-
4 dice.
I got a 4, a 1, a 10, a 9, and a 7.
So how many successes is that?
10 is 2, 9, so that's 3, 4.
4. Very nice. All right, cool. And with a lot of the jutsu you guys are activating, it's just as long as you succeed, the thing happens. But there are jutsu that are like, you know, you get bonuses based on how many successes you get. So just so far, we haven't been using those, just so you know. So the successes actually are important sometimes. All right, cool. So then at that point, so you start sending your strands into the caravans to try and figure out what people are talking about. You are catching the scent. Did you actually get the roll?
Yes, I got. I believe it's 3 successes, a 10 and a 9.
Okay, that's 3, definitely. All right, so then you are getting a scent. You're listening in. So I'm going to say Koriyama gets a scent that that definitely Maya is in the she's in the care of the wagon. That's the word. She's in the wagon that's furthest away from the fire. So now you can use your spider scry, which everybody's already rolled. So you use your spider scry to listen in on what's happening inside there. And you hear, honestly, you hear somebody eating. Like there's just like really loud and obnoxiously. So it's probably not Maya. So like somebody's like he's eating something, just probably the most delicious thing ever in the world. So yeah, so that's what you hear. And you hear this man with like a very deep guttural voice. You know, he's just like, you know, did you want any? And then you just hear like somebody's head shake back and forth, and he goes, more for me. So yeah. So she's definitely in there, and you know, doesn't sound like she's, you know, being hurt or anything at this point. So, but she's being kept.
Okay.
Because I'm going to say you also hear the jingle jangle of a chain.
Okay. What time of day is it?
I'm going to say it's nighttime, so like maybe 11 at night. Like it's dark.
Cool.
It's
All right. So, Shadow Boy, it's probably your time. So I would be telling them
Shadow Boy.
Yep. Where Maya is being kept, and most likely are, you know, Big Bad and Ugly is most likely in there as well.
Yeah.
So the quicker and quieter we can, you know, get this done, the better.
Yeah.
And so we've counted in the camp, there's how many in the actual camp?
8 within the camp.
Okay.
Itself.
And there's probably some other people.
And there's probably more inside the caravans, and probably more just kind of surrounding the camp, to keep you, you know, you rascally ninja out of it. So, but you probably won't have to deal with more than 8 at, you know, unless you're winning too fast, and then I'll have more come in. So that's why I say there's more, but you know, they don't have to come in unless you just wipe the floor with me. So yeah, so obviously Kaneo has, you know, the best tools here for doing something really fast to make a surprise attack of some sort. Again, what you know of executioners is that it might take multiple of you to take him down, just because sometimes he is immune to jutsu. So let's go ahead and can I have your turn order, your initiatives?
Mine's 7.
Kaede. I'm sorry, who was mine?
Ine. Sorry.
Okay, I wasn't looking up. So 7 for Ine, except yours is going to be a 9 for the first round.
So 7 was including that. Sorry, so it's 5.
Oh, it is a 7 just in general. Okay, gotcha. You were already ahead of the math.
How do we roll initiative again?
You don't. You just tell me what initiative you have.
So
Oh.
So who just said that one?
Kiriyama, excuse me,
Okay.
says 7.
Koriyama has 7. Kino has
7.
7. Kaede has. Do you not find it?
I'm trying to find it on my sheet.
It's all the way at the bottom.
I swear.
Initiative. Oh, 8.
8. All right. And then that means we have Ryota and who else? Oh yeah, Kunio.
So I have a 9.
A 9, and then Kunio has.
My base is 5. I was curious if I can add either like darkness comes to life or
Well, let me see here.
anything like that to it.
What does it say?
+1 stealth in shadows when hiding.
Well, yeah, so darkness comes to life is +1 shadow, +1 stealth in shadows, and +1 intimidation when hiding.
Okay.
So yeah, so that's not going to factor into your initiative though.
Okay.
What is going to factor into your initiative is that everybody is going to roll 3 dice right now for me and tell me how many successes you get.
Just a 3d10.
Yeah, 3d10, and then tell me how many successes you get.
0.
0. Okay.
2.
So it's 2 for you. Okay.
A 1 for Ine.
1 for Ine. Okay.
1 for
2.
Ryota.
1 for Ryota. Okay.
2 for Kiriyama.
You said none for Kiriyama?
2.
2 for Kiriyama. Okay.
0.
And 0 for Kuniho. Okay. So what we just rolled is the first part of combat, and we will do this every round, is we just rolled for our dynamic actions. So everybody has an action that will happen on your initiative, but then also everybody has a number of dynamic actions that will be rolled every round. It is 1 plus whatever successes you get on 3 dice. So Kino has 3, Kaede has 1, Ine has 2, Koriyama has 3, Ryota has 2, Kunio has 1. So the way that this works, because the very first thing that you can do, and this is why it's a static initiative, is that if you wanted to spend some to raise your initiative, you could. If you're like, oh, I really want to go first though. So you can be like, I'll spend, and you get +2 for each one that you might spend. So that's why we just have static initiative in this one, because it's a choice. It's a choice if you want to go first. And there is actually a list. If you look at the thing, there's a list. Let me see. It's starting on page. I don't have the pages numbered, but it's page 6 on the PDF. So yeah. So there's that. And okay, cool. All right. So is everybody happy with their initiative? I guess is the first question. Or is anybody going to adjust your initiative? I will tell you that the ones with 9 probably don't need to. The bad guy also has 9, but he's not joining the fight the first round. So you don't have
I
to
can
worry
adjust
about
mine
it.
down. Like, I don't want to go first.
Well, if you don't want to go, you can hold your action. And you can just basically just knocks you down 1, and then at 8, well, you're at, because you're at, because if you're at 8, so I'll say, cool, if you're holding it, then we'll just drop down to 7. Do you want to do something now at 7? And then I'll ask you, do you want to do something at 6? That sort of thing.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, so you can hold it. You don't have to go on your initiative, but you have the ability to do so. Kaede actually has more defensive jutsu, so it might be useful to activate you're going first, you might just be like defensive jutsu. I think you have one called water.
Yeah, I was just looking at that.
Yeah, so like water is a really good defensive jutsu that you might want to activate. So since you're going first and all.
Oh, I am actually first in.
Well, no, actually, well, if nobody's adjusting their stuff, then let me see, what's the initiative of the bad guys? Okay, here. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. So, yeah, then actually it's Ryota's going to go first.
Cool. So I'm not sure if I can do this.
Okay.
This is a. I'm not entirely sure which of these I can use. So what
Mhm.
I want to do is sort of set up this sort of like thread trap, basically.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's using the web or using the skilled strands that basically, because I see like people are in their um carts and people are sitting around, that I
Yeah.
want to sort of like have all these like little thin webs. So
Okay.
when people start moving around, they're going to start getting cut because they don't notice this. Because the invisible threads is these threads are invisible and
Okay.
target upper and -1 defense.
So I like that a lot. Since you have an action and then you have 2 dynamic actions, you could basically do 3 things. So you could create, I guess what I would say is that you could create thread webs between the caravan, like between the wagons.
Mm-hmm.
So you would be able to create one, make it invisible, and then maybe create a third. So you can do 3 things though.
Okay.
So it depends on, you could make 3, or you could make 1 and make 1 invisible and then take a third different action, or, whatever.
Hmm. So my question is, how visible just normally are these threads?
Well, threads, I mean, it's like, I would say that they're not always, it's like a thin strand. So in the dark and stuff, they're probably pretty invisible anyway.
Okay, so
If it was daylight, they'd see it, but in the dark, it's like when you walk out and you're like, spider web, what? I just walked into a spider web, what the hell?
Okay, then if it's this dark, then I don't need to make it invisible. So
Yeah, I would say you probably don't. Yeah.
Then I'm just gonna set them all up
Okay.
on the camps, so that if people walk in it, they're gonna get hurt. So that's.
I love it. All right, so it's yang and crafts. So here's the thing. So, so what's your yang right now?
My yang has always been 0.
Okay, so right now that means you wouldn't even be able to use it. So you'll have to use one of your actions to craft yang key, and that will give you 1 yang then at that point.
Okay.
Okay. Then you can do it. So that's already 1. So you'd only be able then to do 2 thread webs.
Okay.
So yang and crafts, as long as you get 2 successes on each one, you have them there and they are there.
Okay.
So let's see what you get. I like the setting up of the trap here. This is good though. There's a ninja clan that has a jutsu where they remove their face, and it makes everybody have to make a fear check, and if they fail it, they run. And I was just thinking that would be perfect right now, because it would just be
amazing.
Like, and they just run right into the thread web, and then that would be amazing.
It's like some Beetlejuice stuff.
Very much so.
All right, I got 1 success.
All right, so you got 1 success on the first one?
Yes.
All right, so do you want to karma die that, or?
I would like that if that's okay. So.
Is everybody okay with that?
Karma away. Take it.
Are you going to take 1?
Yep. Just
2?
1.
Okay.
Then take 1. Got a 10.
All right, awesome. Very cool. Well, then you definitely got that one. So go ahead and make your second one. And then if you have that, then we're ready to go with, then Kaede would go next.
Would I be able to like hold an action? So it says a +2 bonus to block. Could I use that as like a defensive hold for if somebody else in my group is going to get hit or something, like way to block them from getting hurt?
Only if you guys are like really close to each other, because what like water does is it essentially like has like swirling like water energy around you, so it makes it so if somebody tries to cut you or whatever, you just kind of go and it like it gets swept away with the water energy.
Oh,
so
okay.
There's like longer descriptions and stuff in the book. These were like the very short descriptors of what these things can do.
I'm gonna look at my party and determine which one is the squishiest. Who's squishiest?
Honestly, Ryota's probably the squishiest. Everybody else can pretty much hang.
I'm gonna like stick myself next to Ryota, and then I can hold the action to like activate this way of water thing.
Okay.
Or
Well, wait.
no.
So, do you want to activate this?
Do I?
I would say yes. You would want to use your action.
Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna use it.
And then what you can do then is you can hold your dynamic action to maybe counterattack or something later on if you need to.
Got it. Okay. So it's just like auto, I activate it.
Well, no, it's a roll. So it's
okay.
Let me see. Where's your character here? So like water, it's a yin and intuition.
Yin and intuition. Oh,
and
wow.
it essentially gives you +2 to all your defensive rolls for the battle. So until this fight is over, +2 to all your defensive stuff. It's wonderful.
Yeah, I got rolled 6 dice and got nothing. 0.
Okay. Well then, what that means instead is that you have -1 movement and defense. So now you have a -1 to all your defensive rolls because you failed your roll.
Awesome. I'm like not keeping my calm as well as I normally would in this situation. So
well, that stinks. I'm sorry. All right. So the next is 7s. And you guys will get to go first, but the soldiers are also going to go on 7s. So you guys can choose who wants to go first. Kino, Koriyama, and Ine all go on 7s.
Kind of have been, when I looked at Kino, wanting to kind of draw attention to myself and then like throw those paralyzing spikes at people.
Okay. All right, very cool. So you're gonna first make a roll it's just like essentially like a taunt roll to get people to pay attention to you?
Yeah.
All right, let's do that. Let's make that a, it'll be performance, and we'll say performance and deception. And then you get the -1 for your trying to get people to pay attention to you thing that you have.
Okay, so then where are we at? My
All right.
deception is not good.
Well, you're not great at lying. So,
No.
but this is a deceptive tactic in battle, so it does still kind of fall under deception, sadly. But you'll get your perform, which is 1, you'll get the +2. So you're rolling 2 dice. And essentially what this will do is if you roll really well, it will distract some of them, which would then make it easier for somebody else in the group to attack them.
Right. Okay. So 2 dice.
You do a lot with 2 dice in this game.
Okay, I got 1.
All right, you got 1. So I'm going to say you are able to distract one person that definitely is like paying attention just to you. The other soldiers notice you, obviously, but there's one who's like, "Ooh, I'm coming for you right now." Okay, so that's 1 action. So now you have 3 dynamic actions. What would you like to do with those?
Am I able to do the paralysis needles, like kind of create them and try to hit as many people as I can?
Yeah. So essentially when you let me see. Do you need to do No, you can do paralysis needles, but paralysis needles is you attack one person with that. Okay. So technically, you could attack 3 different people. So you could go paralysis needles, paralysis needles, paralysis needles. You could totally do that.
That's kind of like what I had in mind.
Okay. Well, so what I'm looking here at though is that you have 0 yen. So you'll have to spend at least one of your dynamic actions to craft some yen.
Okay.
So that'll get you 1 yen then at that point.
Okay.
And so there's that. And actually, yeah. So, and if you wanted to, you can do up to 2 per turn. So if you were like, oh, I want to bump it up to 2, then you can do that. And then again, that's basically giving you your dice to roll with. So you need at least 1 die though of yen to roll with.
Okay. So I need to craft that.
Right. So you just say, I'm spending one of my actions to craft it, and you're at yen 1. So like,
yeah. All right.
Not
Yeah.
like a thing.
I'm gonna do that.
Okay. So then that's 1. So now you could throw 2 paralysis needles if you want.
Okay. Yes.
All right. So go ahead. Yang and holistics, which will give you 5 dice for each.
Okay.
Wait, no, sorry. I looked at the wrong one. It's yin and marksman. which would give you 3 dice for each. I apologize.
Okay. Well, I rolled 2, so I got 4 for the first one.
Wow. See, guys, that's 4 successes on 3 dice. You can do a lot with this game.
And then I got 2 for the second.
2 on the second one. All right, let me roll for them real quick. I'm going to give them a penalty. Where am I doing? Dice roller. Love it. If you guys don't use like the Google Dice Roller, it's actually really good. I don't know why. You just type Dice Roller into Google and it's like,
oh yeah, I use it all the time.
It's so good. Okay, so here they are. So I have this many dice for defense. So let's see if I am able to defend. That first one, probably not. That would be my guess. That second one, possibly. All right, so no, you definitely hit on the first one. Second one, missed. Yeah, hey, that was my guess. All right, so you definitely were able to take 1 out. And what does it do for paralysis? It paralyzes them for success numbers of rounds. Oh, wow, nice. So that is going to that's going to get him for 2 rounds on the first one, but the second one was able to dodge out of the way and not get hit. So you are good, but you got one of them, so it's good. No, you're fine. And I'm going to say the one that you got was not the one that's distracted. So if somebody else wants to attack the one that's distracted, you can. So it's Ine and Koriyama. Who wants to go next?
I can go next. I want to activate canine form.
Okay.
And I think that's yin plus might, which is 5.
Yin plus might. Okay.
Combined.
I'm sorry. It's the canine form's yang plus might. Okay, gotcha. Yang plus might.
So it looks like I have 3. I have a 10 and a 9.
All right, cool. So you are in dog form. It gives you +2 to athletics in this form. So that's pretty cool. So that's your main action. And you also have 3 dynamic actions.
What I might have missed it if we mentioned like what the dynamic options like are for the dynamic actions.
If you have the PDF, it's on page, I think I said. If on page 6, there's a lot of different things you can do. One thing you can do is just take another action. Like that's the easiest one. But there's other things you can do too. So like if you hit, you can be like, I'm going to spend more on more damage. What else we got here?
So I could attack the closest person in the guy in the caravan with Maya.
Well, the guy in the caravan with Maya hasn't even come out. Like you guys are attacking.
Okay, so we're just at the camp. Okay.
You guys are attacking the soldiers that are kind of in your way.
Okay. So I guess in dog form, I'll attack the closest soldier and use. I have 3 dynamic actions.
You have 3.
Could I do deeper cuts and enhanced attack?
Yeah. So enhanced attack will get you +2, and then if you hit, then you can then send them after the fact to be like, I did damage. I want to do more damage.
Okay. So to hit, what do I have to roll?
Well, in this case, since you're a dog, I'm going to say it's going to be athletics and fighting.
Okay.
It's going to be a lot of like running and like biting and wrestling him down to the ground, and it's going to be fun.
Okay, so fighting for me is 4 and athletics is 4 as well.
Yeah.
So
like I said, yeah, when it comes to battle, that's where Koriyama kind of
sells. My time to shine. Okay, so I'm rolling 8. So, not great. I mean, I got a 10, so I have 2, and then a 7, so 3.
Out of 8 dice, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's.
I had a 1, a 2, a 3, a 6, a 6, and a 3.
Okay, well then, let's see if I. That's a lot of dice. Let's see what I get then. I got 5 successes. Wow, that was a damn good roll on this. Okay, so I think the Google Dice Roller might not like Koriyama.
betrayed me.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you go up and you're trying to buy. I mean, that's just one attack though. If you wanted to, if you can always attack that one again. So
Yeah. Let's redo. So that's 1 of 3.
yeah, it's the same attack. So and actually, wait, hold on. So it's athletics 4 and fighting 4. So you should be rolling 10 dice, right?
Oh, +2. Yes.
Because you have +2
I goofed that
athletics
one.
in this form.
Yep, I goofed that one up.
Okay. So you should be having two more dice on that.
Plus we have the karma, which I forgot about.
Plus
when
there's
I
karma
rolled
dice
for
if
my
you wanna
water
use these. You
thing.
have 5 of them right now. Yeah.
Okay. So should I
Just roll 2
re-roll?
more dice and see what you see
More
what
dice?
yeah.
Okay.
If you get more than 5, then you hit.
Okay. 7.
So so you got 7 successes then.
No, I just rolled 2 dice and I got one of them was a 7, so that's 1 success, I guess.
So how many did you have before? You have
3.
All right. So then yeah, so I still beat you with the 5 then.
Okay.
So let's do your second attack though. You can roll 10 more.
Okay.
I think you'll get him this time because I'm gonna roll really badly, right? Google roller.
Sure hope so. Let's see.
Terribly here.
Rolling
I
10.
got 3 on my defensive roll this time, so not 5.
It wasn't great, but I think I edged you out. I got 2 8s and 2 9s.
Hey, that's 4. Exactly. All right. So then that means basically you will attack, you will do 1 point of damage +1 because you're in dog form. And then if you wanted to spend your last dynamic action, then you could bump that up another 1, which would do, 3 total. And essentially,
Let's do it.
unless you have, because I think one of you has the technique that when you do that, you add 2 damage instead of 1. Nope, that's not Koriyama. Actually, I think that's Ine. As a matter of fact. Let me see here. Hold on. Let me check.
I think I have something like that.
Oh, is that Kunio who has it?
I have spend 2 dynamic actions for extra damage.
Oh, okay. So yeah. So you can spend, because you can normally only spend 1 for an additional damage, but you can spend 2. So it's a thing. It's martial arts training. Because it's fun. All right, cool. Well then, there we go. All right, so you are done with your turn. So then, Ine, what do you want to do? There's a bunch of soldiers and they're gearing up.
Yeah, so Ine would run in with her katana and start swinging. So I guess I'll start off by attacking one of the 3.
Okay. So you're coming in with your katana. So we're going to say that's going to be fighting and speed, most likely.
Okay. So then that would be 5 dice.
5 dice. All right. It doesn't look like you have any sword martial training. Okay.
Looks like 2 successes.
2 successes. Let's see what I get. I got 0 successes. Okay. Well then, the dice apparently like you. So that's 2. You do an additional 1 because of the blade, so you'd be doing 3 damage to that one. So that's 3 to each of those. That's pretty good. You have
Super cuts.
You have 2. Oh, you're gonna spend a deeper cuts. Okay. Bam. All right. That means you took that one out. He's definitely out. And what would you like to do for your last action? Because you have 1. Oh no, you only had 1 dynamic action anyway, right? All right. So then, yeah, that's just your 1 then. All right, cool. Well, then it's their turn. But since Ine has taken out one of them, I am now rolling with fewer dice. So that's good at least. Let's see here. What do I have here? What's my dice here? Okay, so they take out their stuff and they're gonna swing. There's 4 of them left. Okay, so there's 4 of them left. So I'm gonna say one is going to attack, since Kaede is standing in front of Ryota. I'm gonna say one is gonna attack Kaede. One is going to attack Ine because you're right in their faces. One's gonna attack the dog because you're right in the face. And and I guess one's gonna attack Ino. So those are my 4. I'm gonna attack each of you. Let's go with Kino first. So, because I like attacking healers first. Let's do that.
The smart
0
play.
successes again. What the hell? Don't even roll. It's fine. I don't even have to roll. I got 0 successes. All right, so next one for Kaede. All right, I got 4 successes on that one, of course. So he's coming at you with like a spear, and he's gonna jab you. How are you getting out of the way?
Okay, well, again, I am panicked, which is why I failed my previous thing, and I now have what I get like a minus on
-1.
defense, -1 on defense. I'm going to attempt. So I can attempt to defend myself
Yeah,
with a roll on this. Okay,
let's try it.
With a minus. So what would the dice be for that?
Well, I mean, you could be like, well, it depends on how you're defending, because your initial goal was to stand in front of Ryota, right? So that you were defending him. But you could also, so if you're going to stand your ground, I might say it's gonna be a fighting and probably, speed sort of thing to block, right?
Yeah, I'm going to try and, because Ryota's working on something and still has to like finish that on the next action.
And
I'm going to try and.
But just for clarification, if you were like, oh, I'm going to run or dodge out of the way and like screw Ryota, then it would be more like an athletics and speed sort of thing. So like it depends on how you're, reacting, what your dice pool is. So in this case, though, fighting and speed to block it, and you'll just take a -1 penalty.
So fighting and speed, fight and speed, and then -1.
Normally 5 dice, so you're rolling with 4.
4, got it. Yeah, so she's panicked. She's okay, I'm just gonna do that, and that is 1 success.
1 success, which means you get stabbed, and that's so I have 4 successes, and I do an additional damage, so that's 5 successes. No, I'm sorry, I got 4 successes over your. I'm sorry, you had 1.
Yeah, 1.
All right, so it's 4 damage, 5 so it's 4 damage. It's 4 damage. But you know what? I'm gonna spend the 1 dynamic action that the guards have, and I'm gonna do deeper cuts and do 5 damage on you.
All right.
For no reason. So essentially, what you have in terms of damage is you have both health and psyche. You'll see that down there. So Kaede has 5 health and 6 psyche, for instance. So you can say, oh, all of this is like, oh, it's a gushing wound and I'm going to take all of it in health. Or you can be like, well, I'm going to take part of it as health and I'll take part of it as psyche because it's affecting me mentally. So you can do it that way. There's also conditions. If you were like, oh, I don't want to take it all as damage, maybe I'm bleeding instead, something like that. So you can do those sorts of things, because if you fall to 0 in either of those, then that's when you're out. So you want to try
to say it's like
make that happen. So
I'm gonna say like 2 health, and I'm gonna say 3 psyche, because I feel like just for role-playing purposes, there's this section up here, the wartime role, that she can get lost in the memories of all that she's lost and stuff like that. And I feel like maybe all of this has triggered that, and so she's just really stuck in that distraction, and it's partially what's causing this negative to defense. And so yeah, psyche. So 3 psyche,
I like
2 health. Yes,
I like it. All right, cool. So those are all the set. Oh no, wait, I'm still attacking. I have to attack Koriyama and Ine. Let's do Koriyama first. And I was about to say it's time for you guys, but actually I still have attacks. It's crazy. 1 on Koriyama.
What do I roll for defense?
How are you defending?
In dog form.
We try to keep it descriptive in this game. We figure out dice later.
Trying to think like what's fun for the dog to do.
I imagine it would be pretty nimble.
Yeah, I'm just kind of thinking. I guess he's gonna try and do like a equivalent of like a dog backflip and try and just get out of the way of the incoming swing.
I love it. Well, it's an athletics and let's do athletics and speed. It's kind of an easy one to defend. And I only got 1 success, so you probably will be just fine.
Boy, we hope. My luck so far.
Well, I don't know what your speed is, but you already have 6 dice in athletics. So I think you'll be fine.
Oh, that's right. It's a +2. Okay,
Yeah.
Speed's 2, so that would be 8. Last time I rolled 8, it didn't go so well though. But yeah, I got 2 10s and a 9. Actually, 2 10s, 2 9s. So what is that? 4, 5, 6?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. So you got
Okay.
You're good. You're good. All right. And then on Ine, another dude coming with a spear. He's gonna like jab it at you. And I got 4 successes. Nice. Of course. I got 0, and then 4, and then 1, and then 4. So that's how these dice work, apparently.
So I want to try to dodge out of the way.
Okay.
How would I roll for that?
Dodge is athletics and speed usually, unless you're being, creative about it or something.
Okay.
But yeah, so athletics and speed. And then I guess we'll see what happens. Hopefully I don't hurt you too bad. You already lost an eye.
5.
Whoa, see? Ine's the best. Okay, so Ine is one of my very favorite characters because she lost her eye fighting a celestial bear. I'm just pointing that out. So
That's amazing.
if you look at the celestial bear artwork in the book, it also has a missing eye because she took one too. So that's why she's awesome. Anyway,
wear it in place of your missing eye.
What's that?
You should wear the bear's eye in place of your missing eye.
Oh, see, I think it's too big though, because like it's that big. And that leaves Kunio. Kunio,
Yeah.
who is the reason you go last is because you're a stealth dude. So like you're not fast thinking when it's in battle, but like, so what are you gonna do?
Well, I figure since like it is nighttime, I can use the shadows to my advantage.
You may.
Awesome. How many people are still left that are charging?
Oh, there's only 3. Like, because Kino took out 1 and then Ine took out 1. And then Koriyama almost took out 1. Like, because I only gave them 4 points of damage each, and he did 3. So yeah, so there's 3.
Well, I only have, I think, 1 dynamic action. I think
you have 1 dynamic action, but you have your regular action and then 1 dynamic action.
Okay.
So you can do 2 things.
Okay, gotcha. So let's see. So since I have a what's called an underhanded streak, +1 fighting with unsportsmanlike ways, I figure I will try to trip the closest person.
Okay.
I kind of imagined it would be the person with the lowest health, but I don't know where everyone's placed, so
it's fine. We're playing it by ear at this point. So yeah, you can attack that guy.
Okay. Yeah, in hopes of making him an easy target either for
let's do
Koriyama or to take out.
let's say a fighting and deception.
Okay, that I can definitely do. Let's see.
And then I will roll for them and take 2 dice away. And I rolled 4 dice and got 6 successes. That is ridiculous.
Oh.
2 10s and 8 9. I think that's my last good roll. I don't think it's going to give me any more though.
I got 4 successes.
Okay. So yeah, so you tried to trip him and
Karma.
he saw it coming a mile away, unless karma says otherwise.
How many karma do we have left?
We have 5.
Oh,
You have 5 karma. Also, you can spend your dynamic action for +2 dice.
I am going to use my dynamic action.
Okay, so you're gonna do that first. And let's see if that helps, and if not, there's karma dice.
I got one more. So
Okay.
that's 5, and then I'll use a karma dice, I guess.
All right. So I mean, you have to get one more than me. So I have 6. So you're gonna use 1.
And I tied you with an 8.
You tied me. So are you gonna get another one?
Oh, might as well. All right, let's go. And a 7. Okay.
Hey, there you go. And I already spent my dynamic action, so I can't use it against you. All right, cool. Well, then that means you succeeded, which is good. And you tripped that guy, and that guy's out because he only needed to do 1 more point of damage, so he's out. So all right, cool. So that now I only have 3 dice to roll for them instead of 4. And that's actually how the groups work in this game, by the way. They start off really strong, so I was rolling with lots of dice, and for each one you take out, I lose a die. So they get weaker, the group is weaker, but I'm rolling the same thing for every member of the group, until you start taking them out, and then there you go. All right, cool. So now you guys are down to 3 karma, by the way. All right. I think that's it. All right, so next round, the door flings open from the wagon that's furthest from the fire, and out comes this dude in crazy armor, scarred up body, holding a giant axe. So he's ready to fight. He is going to join the battle this round, and I guess we'll see what happens. Is anybody going to adjust their initiative? Actually, hold on. Everybody roll 3 dice so that we know how many dynamic actions we're dealing with.
0 again.
0 again. So you still get the 1 if nothing else, so you're fine. All right, so that's just 1 for Kaede. All right, Ine?
Ine got 4.
Whoa, so Ine's rolling with 5 dynamic actions. That's amazing.
Kunio got 1.
All right, so you got 2. Ryota?
2.
Just 1.
Kino got 2 as well?
Yep.
2 successes or 2 total?
2 successes. 2 successes.
Right, so that means you have 3, okay?
I had 1 success.
1 success, so you have 2 with Koriyama.
That was me. I had 1.
No, I got you.
Oh,
I
okay.
got
Got it.
For Ryota?
I got 1 success.
Okay, so you have 2. All right, so I will let you know that the guy's going to go on a 9. So if anybody wants to adjust their initiative to go either at the same time or before him, now would be the time to do that.
I have enough dynamic actions, so might as well. Yeah.
If you spend 2, then you'll go at the same time as him.
Okay.
All right, so that's 2 of those. And all right, well then that means we're starting at a 9. Ryota and Ine, both of you have 9s.
Okay.
So who wants to take the turn?
I guess my question is, I had set up those web traps. Did
Mhm.
you just like walk into it?
Did you set them up in front of the door? I thought you were. Oh, okay. Well then I'm gonna say yes, he did then.
Okay.
So then, good. I think I had misinterpreted where you were putting them. So if you put it in front of the door, yeah, I'm gonna say it. Let me go read the description of those real quick. Let's see. So it's the red.
It's a -1 to defense. So.
Oh, it gives them a -1. That's it.
So it depends on how we're doing this. So are we using this? Am I using? So if I'm making the webs, creates either seals the opening.
Mm-hmm.
So literally, like, you can't open the door.
Right.
Or creates a web to stop falls.
Okay.
So I guess my question is, or are we mixing it with the and we're mixing with the skill strands?
So essentially what I'm going to do, because what it says here is that the thread web has health equal to the successes gained. I don't remember how many successes that you rolled for that one, but we'll just say 4. And what I'll end up doing is I'll just say that his first action is going to be to cut through the webs, which might not sound like a lot, but that means he's losing one of his actions. So it's quite a bit. So and he's definitely able to do that. He cuts through it, so I have 1 fewer action. If that's cool with you.
Yep.
Okay.
That's fine. Let's see.
All right, that's where I'm at. Okay.
Is there a way? I'm not entirely sure. So my threads are a jujitsu, correct? Or
Yeah,
they
your threads are part of your clan jutsu, correct?
okay. So because I know that evidently he supposedly is good against that. So
Right.
so my weapon is a chain.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible for me to try to use my chain specifically around his ankles? I'm just aiming there to like
Yeah.
trip him up.
Most definitely.
All right. So this is first I'm using my weapon. What would I be rolling?
Let me go back. Let me go to your weapon here. Well, most times when in fighting, it's always going to be fighting. And I'll say with this one, let's say, so you have nunchaku.
Mm-hmm.
So you have nunchucks.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So
Yeah.
that's wow. Why would Ryoko ever have anything close? That is no. No, that is too close for Ryoko. No. Cool.
No, nunchucks are classified as a chain weapon. That's what the chain / blunt is there.
Okay, so wait, when it comes to nunchuck, are they like the short ones, or are we talking about the like something longer?
I'm going to say it's probably the short ones because there's
right.
different stats for the longer ones.
Okay, so change of plans because that is way too close for the bard. Because let's be honest, I'm a bard. And I guess could I use the same thing with my skilled strands to like try to wrap up his legs?
I would say that you could do that.
Okay.
That technically would fall more under battle strands, which is the next one higher than that. But yeah, you could do it. It just means that you would take a penalty.
All right, so I take 1 penalty, 2 penalty. What am I?
Yeah, let's do a -1 penalty. So your yang plus intuition. So you have 1 yang right now, if I recall.
Yep. And
so yang and intuition, and then your intuition is 3.
Yep.
So you'd be rolling 3 dice.
Okay, so just 3. Okay.
All right, and just to save, I'm not even going to have you roll.
Oh.
What's that?
I got an 8. I got a 9, an 8, a 9.
Oh, okay. I mean, I feel bad because he nullifies it. So, yeah, I was going to say, don't even roll. Don't waste your good roll if it was going to be one because he nullifies it. And then you rolled an amazing roll, of course.
Of course.
Because that's what happens in this game. All right, cool. All right, well, then that's 1 action, though. You have 2 more.
Man. Combat, me and Ryoko just not feeling that.
If you don't know what to do too, like you and Ine are kind of going at the same time, so you could be like, Ine, you jump in there, like, you can do teamwork if you want.
I guess so. I have Way of the Metal. Do you have metal tools?
Who?
Ine. Can I give her a +1 to metal tools?
No. So what? Okay. Sorry, what training is essentially if you roll a boost on an activation of a metal jutsu, then you would get that as a bonus.
Oh, okay.
And then the backfire is what happens if you fail your roll. So.
Okay. Fortunately, don't think I can actually. Wait. So shenanigans. I don't have my fighter for contacts. Come and fight.
I'm sorry, the sound's going out. Can you say that again?
So under my contacts, I do have someone who I could pay to fight.
Oh.
Can I just be like, oh shit, like?
I would say if you had called him ahead of time, then yes, he could be there to assist.
Okay,
Yeah.
so cool.
Sadly.
So no, there is nothing I could do. So my character's like, Ine,
go.
Okay. So I would be switching my attention over to the big guy,
Mhm.
going in to attack him, and I think I'll do enhanced attack to add 2 more dice.
Okay. Are you going in with your katana again?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think, would that be 7 total?
Let me see. Your fighting is 3. If we do speed of 2, which would then give you, oh, and then if you spend one of your dynamic actions for the enhanced attack, it gives you +2 dice. Yes.
Perfect.
All right, let me see what he can do here.
Got 3.
3 successes. Now, just so you know, like he can negate, but he can only negate so many times. So it's not infinite. I have a certain number of times that I can do it for this battle. All right, cool. So let me roll for him. What's his defense? There it is. Okay. All right. Let's see what I get. I got 3. So that would mean that the defense would go to the defender, the attack, unless you wanted to karma dice or spend another dynamic action for 2 more dice. However you want to do it.
Yeah, I'll do the dynamic action again.
Okay. So you spend 1 more dynamic action. That'll get you 2 more dice.
So 4 total.
So 4. Okay. Well, that'll get you at least 1 more. And that'll mean that you do 2. That means 2 points of damage to him then. Bam.
Can I do deeper cuts?
You can do deeper cuts too.
That's my last dynamic action.
All right. All right. Well, then he will now attack you. What is this? What does this say? Deals +2. Oh, okay. Oh gosh. Oh gosh. I hope I don't hit you. Because I was just reading his thing. It's just like he deals a lot of damage when he hits. All right. So how many dice am I have? Okay. So so you go up to him with your sword and you're like clashing and you're like striking him. He was kind of tripped up a little bit because of the threads. So you like, you're cutting him up. And I'm going to say like he just reaches out to just grab you by your throat. Let's see if he's successful in doing that. I assume you're dodging out of the way, which would be athletics and speed. I got 4 successes. Wow.
Uh, 4.
Nice. Okay. I will not spend one of his dynamic actions to win that one. Instead, though, what I'm going to have him do is just attack again. He's just going to attack again.
Okay.
So he's like raw, and you like you like duck underneath it. So he's going to go for just like a kick. He's just kicking upward to get you as you were going down to duck. He's going to kick upward. Hopefully it hurts even worse. Oh my God, it's like such a bad roll. I got 3 more. I got 3 again. So.
And would I be able to dodge again?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You can always defend.
Okay. Yeah. So I actually just got 3 for that.
3 again. Wow. Yeah. Of course. Well, then I will spend a dynamic action and I'll add 2 more to that and let's see what I get. Bam, bam. I got 1 more success out of those. So now I'm at 4. So
You have a bunch of
luckily-
those too, right? Dynamic actions.
Say that again.
I spent all mine.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, Ine's out of hers.
Karma.
Yeah, you can always take karma. There's 3 more karma dice.
Yeah, I was looking at that.
Or you
do
hit.
it.
Okay. Oof.
You want to?
If you take the hit, it'll be 3 damage.
Well, I already spent 1 and failed it. But I think I'll leave it at that.
Okay, so you're gonna take the 3 damage. All right, so we're gonna go bam. And I think that leaves me with just one last one. So I'm actually not gonna spend that one. So I'm gonna hold on to that one. All right, so yeah, so I did 3 damage to you, and again, you can take it all health, or you can split it up between health and psyche if you want.
I'll take all health. So I still have 5.
Boom. Oh yeah, she's super tough. All right, so then that puts it at Kaede.
Okay, so it says that I have a weapon called bow.
Yes.
Like B-O. What is that?
Bow is a staff. That's like Donatello.
Okay. So I'm going to run up and try to, so reach is like melee range, right?
Right. Well, reach means that, like, yeah, essentially you're a little bit further away. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to, I guess, hit him.
Hitting is usually a good plan.
Okay, or like, would it maybe jab be better? Try to stab him.
Well, yeah, you can swing it, or you can go like that. So yeah, but either way, that's gonna be it. Let's do fighting and might.
Fighting
I
and
don't know if that's good for you.
might. Oh, not
Let's do
great.
fighting and speed then.
So fight and speed.
Get you a
Okay.
good roll.
Okay, yeah, that'll give me 2 extra then. Okay. That is, I am rolling terrible. Wait, I have a dynamic thing though, right?
You do have a dynamic action. You have 1.
So how many, so I get to re-roll one die with that, right?
No, what that would mean is that you could spend that to add 2 dice to it. What did you get?
I got 1 success.
On how many dice? 5?
On 5, yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah, my rolls have been, hey, it's going really well with the role playing of her though.
You also have a thing called rewriting history, where if you wanted to spend one of your yin, which would mean removing one of your yin, right now you have 3, you would basically drop down to 2. It would allow you to re-roll all your failed dice.
Oh, I'm gonna do that. That's happening. All right.
That is a Kaede special, that thing that she can do. That's her clan.
I got 1 more success.
I mean, it's something. It's something, I guess.
Do I have to like, so if I want to do the dynamic thing as well and roll 2 more, would I have to do that before finding out, like, I could do it after finding out what like he rolls?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Unless I said it specifically you're not allowed to or something in the rules, which I don't remember if I did or not, so I'll let you do it. I don't remember if you're supposed to do it beforehand or not at this point. So we'll just say you can do it. I don't care. It is not clear here. All right. So did you roll 2 more dice?
Oh, I was gonna wait and see what his defense was.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, you might not need to. That's right. I got 3 successes.
I'm going
Is that
to
enough?
I'm going to roll my dynamic.
All right.
Yeah, no, nothing. Nope.
Okay. You tried. That's what really matters in the end.
She is not doing well. She's like, I'm gonna she's crying at this point. Just
We're
totally
definitely
unlike
not the
her.
combat one here. All right. So then that makes it Kino's. Kino and Kuriyama. Who wants to go first?
I mean, I guess I can try to paralyze him.
That would be really good.
Yes. So I'm gonna do that.
Okay. Go ahead and roll that.
How many am I rolling? Because I have to spend an action in order to create.
No, no, you're just rolling it because you're only targeting one person. The cool thing with the quick needle technique is that you make it and then you have some weapons to use on multiple people. But if you're using the paralysis needles, you're just targeting somebody.
Okay, and I'm rolling 3.
So it's yin and marksman. So your yin is 1, marksman 2. So yeah, 3.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So.
Okay. I mean, not bad.
Well, and what I'm going to say is, you fling your needles and then you see them turn back into regular hair as they fly towards him.
Oh, really? No matter what I got?
No matter what you got.
Dang. Okay.
Because he can negate. However, if you remember, I can only negate so many times. So you could try again, see what
I
happens.
will try again. Might as well bring down the defenses.
That's kind of what I was leaning into. Yeah, I was like, if you just keep throwing stuff at him, he'll stop being able to defend.
I have like 2 more times I could just be lobbing it, right?
You have 3 more times.
3 more times I'm just lobbing then.
Okay.
Let's
Well,
lob.
I'm going to say you throw it 2 more times and it doesn't work either of the other 2 times, but the last one will go through. So go ahead and roll for the last one.
I got 3.
Nice. I don't know. Let me see what I get. Let's see. I got 0. Not only did I get 0, but I rolled 1s as well, which is called a critical failure. So, like, he utterly failed this roll. Which, oh my gosh, that sucks.
Don't worry, guys. The healer will take care of this.
No, and honestly, like, I can't defend anymore. And you got 4 successes, which with the critical, oh my gosh. Yeah, no, he's out for at least another, 5? How long does it say? It says the target cannot move for successes rounds. So yeah, so it would be like 5 rounds. So essentially at this point, you guys would have 5 rounds to just go stabby, stab, 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 stab. And then it's over at that point.
Yeah, is this the boss guy?
Yeah, he's the boss, but
he's done. He's done.
He is the boss. He is super tough though. Like you got him on a technicality of me rolling really, really shitty. So like I rolled 7. His defense is 7 dice. Like I was rolling a lot of dice, and his attack is 10 dice. So like that's why he was like ready to wreck you guys. But you get him on the technicality of me rolling a critical failure on a paralysis roll. Ugh.
All right, guys, have at it. Oh, wait, do I have more turns? I don't know. Oh, he's done. All right.
You guys I'm just gonna say you guys stabby stab and then it's over, and you guys saved Maya. Yay! And then we went totally over, and I apologize for that. But essentially what then you would need to do is then decide, what are you gonna do? What's the ramifications of the adventure and whatnot? So Maya is, basically she begs you guys not to tell her dad what happened to her and that she was kidnapped essentially. Please don't tell him about the thievery and all that stuff. And essentially if you keep the information secret, then let me see. Oh, so keeping the information secret is great, that she's a thief and all that stuff, because it can kind of endear you to her, but also that leaves him open. Without that information about the thievery and stuff, he might have other interactions in the future where he might have to deal with that stuff. Obviously, again, with the boys' parents as well. So the story was actually, just so everybody knows, the 3 of them have been running around stealing stuff and having fun, and they were trying to save up stuffs because she had fallen for a commoner. So that the boy who was drinking and stuff, he's a commoner, and her dad was never going to let her be with him. So they were planning on running away together was the plan, and her friend, who was also a noble, was helping them. That's basically the backstory. And then they chose the wrong mark and they got kidnapped and abused and all of that stuff. So I didn't even mention that like the boys had like bruises all up and down their bodies, because the dude, wouldn't you know it, that the dude who scars himself also scars everybody around him. Isn't that funny? So anyway, but no, actually you guys did really good on this one, because the experience for this one is, did you get out of the town without a fight? Which you did. did you get into town without a fight? So that would have been an extra experience. Did you console the distraught father? And you guys did do that, so that's great. Did you follow any of the side leads, which you only didn't because I told you not to, because you guys were about to. So I would say you guys get that experience. Isi and Goru aren't killed. If the two boys are alive at the end, you get an experience point. I know how tempting it is to murder them, but you get an experience point for not doing so. And then obviously saving Maya at the end, you get an experience point. And that would be 5 experience on top of the regular experience that you would get for the normal session as well. So that's how what it is that you get session experience, and then when you're done with an actual adventure, you get specific XP that goes with that adventure. Which I think for me, like, it kind of points you in a direction of like, these were the choices that you needed to kind of make. If you made other choices, it makes you a bad person. So so yeah, because I have had those where the group's like, oh yeah, no, the boys left the girl there. No, they're dead. Like, I've had them just kill them before. Like, that is completely dishonorable that you would ever do that to somebody you called a friend. You're dead. So it happens. If you had followed up on the boys, the other noble's family, you would have found them tied up under their house because they were gonna try and make a run for it. So they had actually tied up his family so that they didn't call the authorities to come after them. They would at least have a day or so of a head start. So yay, fun stuff.
Dang.
Yeah, this one was an intense one. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff, like if you wanted to actually go and return the jewelry to people, like there's a bunch of stuff in this adventure. Like, but again, we were trying to condense it. We still went almost 3 hours because it's hard to run this one with all the context and fun stuff in just 2 hours. So I apologize, Tony, that we went over. Thumbs up, I'm tired. I don't feel like talking.
So, I mean, now they can hear me, but if I do that. But I mean, no, I was just doing other things.
Did you guys have any questions about the game or the setting or anything like that? Anything that might help you with therapy or anything like that? Anything that I can help you guys out with?
I guess my question, other than Ryoto, because Ryoto's totally, hey, let's not fight and let's just talk all this out because I don't do the stabbing. Are there ways with other characters? Because I mean, there's a lot of characters here that I don't want. It would be wrong to deprive them of their stabbing skills because that's their whole point.
Yeah.
So, but can you, are there other characters, because you mentioned that there are other books, that you could create a whole party of like talking heads and people who can like do all these missions without killing?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Okay.
There's definitely, because it kind of all depends, again, like when you're making your characters, the choices that you make end up dictating the skills that they have and the things that they're good at. So in Ryota's case, he got villager and noble, and he's an authoritative temperament. That's like his thing. But I picked those for him. Like, I could have gone in a different direction, and he could have been more deadly. Like Kaneo has devious and he's wanted, stuff like, there's a bunch of stuff that you can do. So you can totally go in that direction. I would say in a game about ninja, there's usually some fighting in it because that's part of the fun of being a ninja is like, stabbing. But a lot of the game can be played without that, especially if you were, say, not playing, for instance, like if Kino wasn't built, if she was built more like a straight up healer, that would make a lot of sense, right? She would be more of an emissary than a scout, somebody who out to get stuff. Kaneo could be, instead of being the assassin, I think it's always going to be built into their clan that they're going to be at least a little good at that stuff. Mm-hmm. But he could have also made some different choices with his character, spent his points a little bit differently. and done it in a way that you could have a character that was not necessarily going to kill as the first instinct. So these are all just like characters I made just to kind of exemplify the groups. But there are definitely clans that are better at talking than fighting, I will say.
Kind of along the same line, I just wanted to say that because it seems like all of the different like directions and choices in specifically this story, since like that's the one we played,
Yeah.
obviously, just like it's a real opportunity to explore like the ramifications and um all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. So, and you can make there's a whole other adventure that is, it's a complete stealth mission. And if you pull it off, then there is no fighting, because it's a stealth mission. Obviously there's fights if you fail your stealth. And that one is actually, you have to take somebody who was going to commit seppuku, but instead the clans have decided that they will die in somebody else's place. So your goal is to break into a prison, switch out the two people, and then get out with the person that you're saving from the prison. And that's a fun one. And honestly, if you do that one correctly, then there is no fighting in it. It's just a lot of like sharp corners and talking your way out of things. So there definitely are adventures written for that. This is more kind of your baseline, kind of like a lot of some mystery, some investigation, and then a fight, because fights at the end are fun. So
Since it seems like plans, at least I'm thinking, are very important, how in depth does the game allow for family dynamics and I guess your characters to be able to be tied to those clans and all these sort of NPCs of different different relationships that you have to navigate?
yeah. Well, that's where the contacts come into play a lot of the time. So when you're making your character, you end up selecting basically an ally and a rival. And an ally is like a friend, somebody that you know who's not a ninja, like just another person. Sometimes they're from your clan, sometimes there's not. Same thing with rival. And a rival isn't an enemy. It's just somebody that you know that you might not necessarily get along with all that well. But they are important people to the characters. Like that's how they're designed. And you can gain new allies and gain new rivals and stuff as you go along by spending XP and whatnot. So you can definitely start creating like this large web of like other characters that and you can totally do that. I would say that the game mostly focuses on, though, the relationship between the ninja in the group. And we didn't do the part of character creation that you would do, but each of the clans comes with 3 prompts that you have to then attach to one of the other players. So for instance, let's just take Koriyama, for instance. Let me see here. Where's Black of the Black Moon? Here it is. So if you're playing a Pack of the Black Moon, then you'll choose one other ninja in the group that you view suspiciously, but your dog loves them. So like that's bam. Then you'll choose one ninja who you find arrogant and condescending, and even there's definitely always going to be one of those. And then choose a ninja that choose a ninja to be your trusted advisor on all things regarding civilization or normal society. So if you're playing this kind of character, then there's going to be somebody you don't like but your dog does, somebody who you think is like the authority on like being a cool society civilized person, and then somebody that you don't necessarily like. So what that does is that kind of already starts off the game with some dynamics between the different characters.
Okay. Background noise.
I don't know where that's coming from.
So that was really, I think that was the best way to learn how to play the game, was just jumping in and trying it. So
Well,
I feel like next time I'd be able to be like, okay, I got that, like move into the scenes more then.
Yeah, and it is one of those things, again, especially if you're coming from a D&D kind of standpoint where everything's very structured, whereas this game is very much like, I don't know, what do you want to do? All right, let's make that happen. You know, it's like it's you know, less about I move 3 spaces and then I attack. It's more like, well, I really have a great plan on how to do this thing. All right, cool. Let's roll some dice. Let's see what happens. Let's cook something up. Let's work together. And especially like Ine has one, I believe she has it, or did she not? I was totally expecting you to just run up and just swallow the guy, because you do have swallow, the swallow jutsu, which is literally like you can just walk up and swallow the guy. You'd have to roll really well, but you could have done it. So.
Well, I didn't do that one because it said something up to half my size.
Well, or if you boost, it's something the same, like regular size. So that would have been what you could have done. But yeah, so.
My thought was if the guy was still holding on to food, I was going to use the 3-foot tongue to knock it out of his hand.
That could have been funny. No, he was eating up a storm, so he was definitely done by the time you got to him. But the thing about this too is that honestly, like, I was really trying to speed us through it, so I skipped a lot of things. There's a lot of moving parts, but as soon as especially if you make your own character and you're like, I understand each of the things I have here because I chose them, you know, it's a little bit different than just being handed a character and you're just like, there's a lot of stuff on here. If you make a character, if you go through and you make a character, you're going to be like, I understand everything about this character from my choices. That's actually what I love about the character creation is it's a life path essentially. So the first thing you do is you select what element you're born under, and that gives you your general personality and temperament. Then you pick what profession your family is from, and then that gives you kind of like what trade did you learn growing up? And then because there's a war going on, the next thing is what tragedy has befallen you somewhere in your life because of the war or whatever. Like Ine lost an eye. If I recall, Kaede is displaced. So like you lived one place, but because of all the plagues and stuff, you had moved to another place. So like what happened in your life that is bad, but you get a good thing and a bad thing from everything that you choose. And then the next one is wartime role. So what are you doing during the war? Like what is your role? And then the last thing is obviously your clan. So your clan gives you a lot of your basis there. So, and like I said, so going through it, you're like, oh, wow. So I have Wood and she's a perfectionist, but she's also a drifter. And then, but she lost an eye. Like I rolled randomly for these characters and that's where Ine came from. And I'm like, she lost an eye. Well, it had to be something epic, obviously. So I'm like, she has one eye. And then I made her a foot soldier. So she's an enforcer. But when you're making it, it's like, it's foot soldier. And then there's a bunch of different options under foot soldier. I chose enforcer for her to give her a specific thing. So there's a lot of different things that you can do with the characters and go in a lot of different directions. And when you do it again, when you do it yourself, it makes all sense. It's like, it's a little bit clearer at least. As soon as I stop talking, so somebody starts flushing a toilet. I don't know where that sound is coming from. It's like, but I'm glad that you guys enjoyed it. It did seem like you guys enjoyed it, and I'll be available on Discord if you guys have any follow-up questions or anything, or you have any other questions about the game or the setting or anything like that. And we had a couple of there are other characters that you guys didn't actually get to see in action. But there's a lot more. I have other books that are going into the other nations and stuff. So it's really, really fun. That's actually one of my favorite things because the Empire, which is where the core of the game goes, is very colonial. It's like China essentially, where they're like, hey, I like that land. It's ours now. So that's why a lot of the clans are borrowed from other lands, because they just usurped a lot of the land from the other nations. But when you start going into the other nations and you find out that they have like completely different cultures, and their ninja operate on a completely different, type of society that they have, then it becomes a lot of fun to like explore. Oh wow, like what if there wasn't a Ninja Crusade and everybody was trying to murder ninja? If you go to the other nation, it's completely different. It's great. It's like, well, not completely great. Let's not go too far with it. I mean, it's still colonized. The other book that I have is The Land of Seed and Blossom, and it's like it's kind of colonized, but they actually see their ninja as like elders, and they look up to their ninja and stuff like that. So it's fun. Anyway, I won't keep you guys any longer because I know it's almost midnight for me now. So